Yo, yo, yo. I'll be right back, boys, yeah? A big nose wants to raid me. Ich bin überall Shadowband. Überall. What's up, guys? Not the main man Sui here. Hope you're doing all awesome regardless. What's good? Welcome, welcome. Are you ready for a reaction stream, yeah?
Kizaru Amena Godum.
Yo, HX, thank you for the Prime. Gucken wir uns alle an.
Salam Metis. Tekken is dead HMDL. Finally we can close this chapter.
I am gonna react to all of the videos. That's on the agenda. And I might play a little bit. Chill Annihilation. I don't think he is gonna chill this time too much, the main man, because if he does this, it will be a suicide. Like, of his own career. He's not gonna do that this time. He knows. He can't do it. I would be very surprised if he still goes with this. He can't do it. Trust. Yo, 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 yo. You have my voice again? Okay. Shall we wait till Big Nose raids? Or shall we start already? I think it's better to wait. We're gonna react to Mike Hollow. We're gonna react to the main man Sui. And maybe also Fighting GM. And a couple of others. I don't know, maybe Fighting GM not. It's just a road to GOD. Yeah. While we wait, let's look at some tweets. Yeah, send over what you want to show me. Send it. If you have something. Get it over. This is funny.
Hey, can you guys let me know if I overreacted to this new Tekken update? So basically what happened is, yeah, I downloaded the patch last night, booted up the game, and all of a sudden I'm seeing all of these characters have these crazy broken moves. I'm like, what's going on? So I took the patch notes, I copied it out on my printer, and I booked a flight straight to Japan. And as soon as I got to the Bamco headquarters, I slammed the papers down on the desk, and I told the receptionist, yo, what's up with this new update? And the guy's looking at me like, oh, Sunimasen, I'm like, shut up, blood. Then I see Harada walking out to the left, yeah? I pick up the papers, I dash it in his face, and he's just like, oh, I don't know, I'm sorry. Then I hit him with a fucking back one, yeah? Jaw dislocated, he's fucking flying to the floor, and then all of these security guards trying to surround me, yeah? Big 6'5", muscular black men all trying to surround me with glasses on and that. I'm like, are you mad? So I call up my boy Mike Tyson, then Mike Tyson comes in there, starts bashing him up. Back one, back two, back three, back four, everything. Smashing them up, yeah? Then I go into the basement of the Bamco headquarters, steal the Devil Gene in the basement, and then just fly out of there with my new Devil Gene, fucking wings powers, bro. And I just leave Mike Tyson there to fend for himself for hours and hours. And he's just bashing up all of them. And then 3 hours later, I'm like flying over it, yeah? I'm hovering down, looking over the building. I'm seeing just blood and guts everywhere. And the whole of the fucking Bamco headquarters, every single employee is just dead. They're all just there, lying, blood on the floor. Please pull up, yeah? I'm still just observing the situation, and I realize I need backup. So I call in my attack army helicopter, Apache 266 Model 33. And I call my guy, and he's like, okay, ready for action. And he just lets off a fucking nuclear bomb. Boom! Hiroshima 2.0, fam. The whole country's blown up, bruv. No chance. And I just fly back to England, fly back to my house, sit in my bed, and I just go to sleep for that night because I'm bare tired and I just got my new Devil Gene powers. So yeah, man, let me know if you think I overreacted.
You think he overreacted? But that came out of his heart. He didn't write this down. That was freestyle. Claudio season 2.5 main. Yeah, Claudio is broken. Yeah, I agree. Why not?
Discombobulate. 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 Might be the greatest move of the game's ever seen, bro. It just might be.
What is that?
Discombobulate.
Is that safe?
Discombobulate.
It's minus 13.
Might be the greatest
Minus
move
10,
of
minus 13.
the game's ever seen, bro.
Okay. Looking at the patch notes, I didn't notice any major changes to Asuka, but after playing her, I can see that the winning strategy has changed. It's good, she needed nerfs, but it'll take me a few days to get the most out of her. Also, I don't see any clear use for up back 1+2 right now. I'm excited to find the perfect Asuka, but it's also going to take a lot of work. The perfect Asukas. Rank inflation is crazy. I tell you why they did this. They noticed no one can reach GOD 4 and above, so they made it easier. So they want to inflate the ranks towards the last ranks. You're probably gonna see more GOD 4s now. The Tekken feedback Discord is devolving into a popularity contest. This is not important because they don't want to listen to your takes. They just want you to not talk about it on Twitter. That's all. It's really not important. Medusa, is there a live reaction of you reading the patch notes or something? I didn't read it. I just went into ranked, I got GOD, and I said the game is the same dog shit like before, and I called it a day. Rushed through the ranks, fucked everyone, and that's it. Because it's the same, Kazuya is a bit nerfed, and some characters are a bit stronger than before. Actually, like some characters are actually a bit stronger. Was good, was good. Any other stuff?
No, hold on.
They had the right idea with Tekken 6. Yeah, but then obviously they made a bad game, which was Tag 2. And then nearly killed the franchise.
Excuse me?
And,
Someone clip that. Someone clip that. Someone clip that, please. Someone clip that, please. I'm gonna clip it, bro. Hold on. Yeah, I'll add Shaiko in a minute. Hold on.
Before people start going crazy, it tracks one way, which is to the right after 1+2 hits into Hitman. You can sidewalk it to the left. Also, the 1+2 is only +2 on blocks, so you can jab. 11 frame move, armor, parry, heat. Okay. Okay, so fighting GM thinks that it is okay for Lee to have a homing +2 on block, counter it launching mid, in which when I block it, I need to defend instead of him defending. Like, that's what he's trying to say, right? This is what, like fighting GM is saying, hey Medusa, if you block my homing, counter it launching plus on block mid, you are needing to defend after that also. I don't understand where he is coming from, really, but I really don't understand. Like, why wouldn't we go crazy over this? This is actually pretty crazy. I don't understand it. Made out with a hot guy. All right. Oh, by the way, Feng can do Heat Smash twice. Did you know that? Feng can do his Heat Smash twice now. Like, he does it one time. If you mash the Heat Smash input, he gets another one. More than twice. Or more than twice. How many times? It's a bug. Yeah, but he can. I mean, it is a bug, but he can do it. I mean, the Heihachi stuff is also a bug. But it's worth talking about it. He can do it infinitely. Nice. Yeah, but the thing is, bro, when you have only 2 people that playtest the patch, and you have 5 managers you need to report to, like, what did they expect? Why do they not have 5 people to fucking test the patch and 2 managers to report to? Why is it reversed? Why do they have 5 managers but only 2 people that test it? Does that make sense? Season 3 is the worst season Tekken has ever had. Okay, I watched this later because I don't like this guy at all. Like, really, I don't like him. I quite hate him a lot. I think he's super weird. We watch him at the end, when there's nothing else to watch. How broken is that? Trying to give feedback on the Discord server. Don't watch you trigger fighting GM. I don't know if he would get triggered by this. He would need to explain why he's triggered. I'm not gonna sugarcoat my opinion just because we are friends.
Because this is rough. I'm not gonna hold y'all. It's not the worst patch. It's not. The problem is it's just too little and too late. Like, this patch felt like it could have been a mid-season patch. If this was like a mid-season patch, not a brand new opener into the game, the new season, then I think it would be, the feedback would be much more, it'll be perceived in a much better light. We'll say that. Because basically the shit that y'all did is just not, it's not impactful enough in gameplay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't affect gameplay that much. Everything is still the same. Even like the new moves you added don't make sense. Like, certain changes don't make sense. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, out of all the moves y'all could have like changed or addressed, you go after things like Fang's baby tantrum. I don't know who complained about that move. What blue rank y'all was in talks with, I don't know. But that's the weirdest change ever. And there's like a ton of things like that mixed in. And I don't understand. I think that's what people are frustrated about. Because we're giving you the answers, bro. And y'all are just not delivering. Like, we can't give y'all the answers to the test. You sit down and take the test. And you get everything wrong. How is that possible? You can, it's like we're going to KFC. And you say, hey, can I get a 2-piece meal with coleslaw and a Mountain Dew? You bring back tacos and a Baja Blast. No, because that's still good. Y'all not even doing that. I can't even say that. But where are you even getting tacos from? I went off on a tangent. But what I'm trying to say is, like, y'all not delivering, man. Like, we gotta do better. We giving you the feedback. That's why people are losing hope. You got another portal. Oh, here we go again. It's hard to have hope when we keep doing it. You're not delivering, bro. You got to do better, Michael Murray. You got to. And I saw you unfollow me on Twitter. You think I ain't know, boy.
Unfollow Michael Murray. What is this guy up to lately? Michael? How do you write his name? Michael Murray? Here. Yes, we are reading the threads. Thank you to everyone already participating. This portal is now the only place we're consistently reading, so if you want to be heard, this is the place. So he's basically saying, please stop posting negative on Twitter. Okay. Murray always unfollowing people, yeah, I know. Mikeru. Devs are splitting away from the toxic X community. The problem is that the toxic ones come from the people that actually have value. I've always pushed for constructive feedback. Bro, the time of constructive feedback is over, man. When the environment is toxic, it's okay to respond with toxicity. This toxic positivity is what got us here in the first place. Like, if something's negative, be negative, man. What's the issue with that? What's the issue with that? It's like everyone became so soft. It's like you...
خلاص.
Oh, shit.
Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam. Setzt euch, wollt ihr was trinken? Nein, danke. Trinkt was. Holla, trink. Type, okay, ein Tee.
What is this small fucking raid, you fucking frauds? 400 people. Where's the 2,000 people, man? You fucking frauds, bro. Thank you for the raid. Yo, what's up, man? Welcome, everyone. Where's the 2K, bro? I was waiting for 2K, not 400. So anyways, I think it's okay to be negative, bro. Sometimes. It's okay. 2K fraud is better than 4K. In Tekken 8, you keep your resource if your opponent beats you out. Same goes with Rage. Big design flaw and encourages people to play like morons. Bro, this shit works in-game.
my god. Yo, this shit works in game. This shit works in game.
Fight.
Nice. What's this about? Like from a, this is, I am comparing this to Twin Piston damage. This is good damage. A good Oki also. I'm comparing it to Twin Piston not because of the frames, but because it's instant tornado. If I'm done with Tekken, listen, if the amount of time I played Season 2, I'm probably playing Season 3, because I think it's the same dog shit. It's not really worse, it's not better, it's just Season 2.5. But I'm not gonna play like every fucking day, bro. I'm gonna play like maybe twice a week, you know? And not these long sessions, like twice a week and that's it. It's just the same season, nothing changed, it's the same. They could have not released it, it wouldn't make a difference, in my opinion, it wouldn't. Because some characters, okay, you have some positives, but then you have some negatives. You have heat smashes, not wall splitting, but you have characters that were broken before and are stronger now. Like, Hoarang is stronger now. Lee is stronger now. Law is stronger now. Shaheen is stronger now. They made a lot of characters stronger. Like, you can't deny this. Even Lars. I think even Lars is not worse. I think he's more annoying. Yo, thank you, Swag.
They did on one half good things, but they also did bad things like buffing Law, or Lee, like TF.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. They did good things and bad things. So you can have the patch, you cannot have the patch, but it's not like where I say, oh, I need to have this patch, bro. We could go back 1 week and I wouldn't mind it. Could play the same dog shit. Doesn't matter. Okay, riddle me this. I spin like a Beyblade, and I jump over your mids. I may crush your highs, and I am Mr. -12. Who am I? Who am I? Lars, yes. Ridley, yeah, Crusader.
Martel.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Tasha Robinson.
Come on, come on, come on. Feel that?
Emily George.
Feel that? All right. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Daryl Stokes.
Come on. What's up, fam? How you doing? All right. You talking about this? Oh, one. There you go.
Was that always a thing? Was that always a thing? I can't remember this. Do you get combo here? It wall splitted. Yeah, but now it's... Oh, okay, now I understand why it looks different. Yeah, you're right. It used to split. Remember that if you are at side angle or if you do wall splat, Jun gets a free hit up until 15 frames with new move. That is free? Okay. Back to basics. Back to son of a bitch basics. Back to basics! Back to basics! Back to fucking basics. Bro, someone was trolling me because I said it's not worth it doing down forward 2 perfect electric, 4 electric, down forward 1, down forward 2, fucking down back 2, break the floor. Heat burst, wall splat, heat dash, CD1 plus 2 for 126 damage. They said I am a downplaying because I said what's the point if you can pick him and do this? Like, why am I getting trolled for that? Yes, get fucked. Good. DLSS off, DLSS on. What's... Yo, what's up, man? Back to basics. Oh, look how much they are mashing. Oi, 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 oi. That was surely not guaranteed. Shall we start with the reactions of... Yeah, I know you were joking, I know. There was a guy in the Big Nose channel, he was writing, yeah, why are you guys so anti-Semitic? This is horrible and shit. He was even a sub. Obviously he's right. Why are you so anti-Semitic? I think Israel has the right to defend itself. Why is no one posting anything about Aliza? Okay, let's start. We start now, okay? Let's watch. Who shall we start with? Mike Hollow or the main man Sui? Or Spag? Spag, Mike Hollow, the main man. Okay, most people are for Tamam.
And here we have a bipolar devs who just will do something magical to one. And here we have a bipolar devs who just will do something magical to one character and fix them, and then they'll just take a shit on another character, destroy that character's identity, make the character hilariously OP, and you just don't understand what they're doing. It could be by far the best Tekken game ever made. Everything is there for it to so easily claim the throne and the crown, but for some reason there's gonna be
You know what is funny? You know what is funny? Bro, the guy, you can tell he was motivated and shit. He went to his barber, he said, do my sides proper, line it up, this and that, zip it up, give me that fucking heavy look. Sat down on his chair, wanted to chill the game, realized it's impossible.
Couple of people
you can't
who
see
have
him,
to
wait.
insist on the dumbest shit imaginable.
Yeah.
What's up guys, main man Sui here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always. Today we got season 3. I spent 6 hours on my stream today
let's
just
go
reading
through the
patch
first
notes.
statement. Do you think Tekken 8 has the potential to be the best Tekken of all time? I think it could. It could be the best Tekken of all time. Yes, I also think it could. But it's impossible now because the direction they want to go is going into the direction of the worst possible Tekken of all time.
It started off really well, but it turned on a dime. I'm so sorry to say that. I feel like we all deserved a really nice patch here, having played the Abysmal Season 2, which was a train wreck. They did some patches after Season 2 to make the game better, but I think we all agree Season 2 was really dog shit in many ways. And then we waited 9 months. We were super patient, has to be said. We waited 9 months and they barely said anything during that time. They didn't change anything with the game, the core mechanics or the characters, because they
How
said
can
it's
it
gonna
be
hurt the
better than
competitive
4 or
integrity of
5?
the game.
Bro, a hot take here maybe, but Tekken 4 was shit. If they give us Tekken 4 now in Unreal Engine fucking 5 and no input delay, it would be the shittest Tekken of all time, bro. Why? Because it just looks good, it has that flair, it has a good story, but try to play that competitively, I beg you. Try to play that competitively with all that game is even more broken than Tekken 8. It's my opinion.
That's funny because with Dota and Valve, you know, they patch Dota mid-tournament. They don't give a shit. And I think that's the way to go about it. And especially with this game, you know, when it was in such a bad state, and then all the pro players were like, please, please send us patch notes our way because, you know, the top 10, 15 characters, it's a joke. It's a joke. We're begging for a patch. But due to competitive integrity, we can't do anything. And for 9 months, you almost say nothing. And then, yeah, unfortunately, we have Season 3 here, and it's just like, it's very disappointing. Because to me, after 9 months, you must have cooked some real good shit, right? Surely you must have been at work for 9 months. But it just comes off as cheap, this patch. It just comes off as cheap. It just rubs you the wrong way when they didn't do PR on this patch. There were no Tekken Talk Live. There's no face of a company anymore. You don't really hear anything. Then you get a trailer on Tekken World Tour, back to basics. Yeah, great. You know, back to basics. So someone's a troll at the company, that's for sure. Season 2 defensive patch, Season 3 back to basics. Yeah, I don't know. It's just shitty. So that's not to say that there aren't great things in this patch. I'm gonna show you them. There are some really good things, but there's just so much abysmal shit. Unfortunately, I wish that wasn't the case. And I'm yet again reminded of the analogy I gave you guys with Season 2, and I gave you my honest thoughts on that patch. And it's like, it feels like, you know, there's a forest burning or a house is burning, and 2 firefighters show up. One's pouring water on the fire, and one's pouring gasoline on the fire. That's the exact same thing I got reading the patch notes today. First, it started so well, but then after a while, after a certain amount of pages, it just turned on a fucking dime. I was in shock at certain things.
Okay, so now we come to the part where I was basically trying to explain to you the future of Season 3 when we were playing Season 2. I tried to explain you, they always do a specific pattern. They have people in Bandai Namco that do what BlackRock wants in order to make the game brain dead, to appease to consumer drones that have no high demands, but they just consume and buy content so they can make money. They want to get rid of the old community. This is now something, it's not conspiracy anymore. This is like basically confirmed if you have basic pattern recognition. I said to you what they do in order to keep you somewhat distracted is they take some horse shit from somewhere and move it somewhere else. So that's why you get the impression of, hey, here this is good, but then here this is bad. You think the part where it is bad, they don't know it. It's so obvious. It's like the episode of SpongeBob where Patrick says, let's just shove the city somewhere else. So while you are distracted by the fact that they are just moving the goalposts around all the time, you're always running behind the mistakes that they do and then focus on them instead of the entire situation. So, oh yeah, we fixed this about Brian, but then we give him this instead. Or maybe we change the top 1 character that was super horseshit broken and take one of the maybe top 15 and put him on top 1 and make him super horseshit broken. And then the character people that abuse characters, they go to the super horseshit broken character. And how do you know this? It is by finding out who goes for that new top 1 character. It's always the people that played the prior top 1 character. That's all. And when they give us this Discord fucking dog shit so you can speak to some AI, they don't do this to actually listen to you. They do this so that it is not in the public view how dissatisfied everyone is with the game, and they can fight the bad PR because they have a PR issue. And then when people tell me why don't we all rush towards the Steam reviews and Steam review bomb them, I tell them don't do it all together because they have some celestial dragon lawyers that can then say this is review bombing, and because all of them come at the same time, we can delete them. It happened in Season 1, it happened in Season 2, and it will happen in Season 3. They just delete your comments.
I read, and certain things just made me laugh out loud. It was so outlandishly stupid. And I was just wondering, like, is there a clear vision at Tekken Studios? They must be so confused. I can't for 1 second believe that there's one guy who thinks this should happen on a systematic level and this should happen to this character. But this character, we should do this, and it's just like there's no consistency on anything. It's just all over the place. So dumbfounded. I'm very disappointed. We waited so long for this. And it also feels cheap in that every new move we got is basically recycled. It's old animations, it's from legacy characters, or they take a certain move from a character's a string, and it's the third hit of a string, and they tear that out and they make that a single hit attack. And it's like, oh, everything's recycled. And some of them look really bad and janky because you can tell they've like sped up the animation or slowed down the animation, and suddenly it doesn't work anymore. It looks like shit. So it feels quite cheap in that way as well. But you know what? I'm gonna not give you everything. There's way too much to tell you regarding the patch. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you the good stuff and explain to you what was good with the patch, because there was a lot of nice stuff. And then I'm gonna explain to you what made it so shit also, okay? So for example, with Jhin, you would actually get here, like, electric, this, into this, into this, into this. Kazuya could do 8 electrics, right? If you had the execution. Infinite combo. Now, they removed that. You get a normal combo. So with Jhin, I'll just do a normal staple. Something like that.
It has to be stated that the overall damage is quite the same because they changed the scaling. For example, when you do with Kazuya 3 electric, down forward 1, down forward 2, it's equivalent to 5 electric before, or 4 electric, and then the follow-up. We checked that out yesterday. And also, this is not a Jhin specific situation, it's for everyone. But you have less combo length. At least, you have a less combo length.
You don't spend 2 hours in the air, you don't get wall to wall, it also reduces the damage to quite an extent. I think this is an incredible change. And this also affects combos when you do the same heat dash but mid-air, here. So you see, it yet again doesn't reset there where you can get additional hits. So it pushes them still far away. It is super good to reduce excessive combos and also nerf heat dash launchers. So I was very happy to see this. Second big point is that all heat smash wall splats are gone. So this is a gigantic nerf to all of the characters.
That is not true. There is a few characters that still do wall split on the heat smash. I played against Feng yesterday, he did the heat smash and I got splatted. So, I don't know. You tell me how many characters still have it, but Feng still has it.
So had it, super happy with that. That should never have been in the game.
Not on whiff, I was on hit and everyone was surprised. It's not, no. We checked yesterday, I got hit by the full version and I got splatted. Maybe that's not intended, I don't know. I'm just here to tell you that it happened yesterday.
Happy to say that Jhin, I really like the changes. I thought Tekken 8 Jhin was like abysmal, an absolute dog
Leroy
shit
does it also.
piece of garbage.
Yeah, Leroy
design
does it also.
compared to what he was in Tekken 7. Hated it, and Law is also an example of this. But while Law continues to be a turd on 2 legs, unfortunately, sorry, Jhin is starting to become a pretty healthy and cool character. I kind of like him now, and they did good changes for him in this patch.
I played against him yesterday and I was quite stunned by him having a mid +2 on block. I didn't know what to do. I don't know how he is so much better than before. He has a mid which is +2 on block, and I can't punch parry the second hit. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, legit. Now people will say, hey, it's just +2, it's not that bad. No, it is bad. I am not supposed to block a homing and then defend further. Same with Lee. Why do I need to block a homing counter hit launching mid that is +2 on block and then I need to still make a decision? Like, why?
Like that. Another system change is that they nerfed installs. So any character that has an install where they get a buffed up state, like for example Snake Eyes with Brian, we now lose that token. I pop heat, you see how it flashes up the tribal there underneath my health bar. That's my Snake Eyes, right? So when that runs out, boom, it's gone, right?
That is good.
So prior
I've
to
seen it,
season
yeah.
3, when the heat runs out,
We saw it
now,
on stream.
I would keep that token, but now it goes away. Might not sound like a lot, but
But honestly, it has to be said here also in front of 600 viewers. Sherdle is a deceiving piece of shit. He's a liar. He's a safe scammer. He's a cheater. And he has no chin. So people always remember this. You see this chin? That's why I'm always saying the truth. Never trust a person without a chin. That's like a law in life.
is a big nerf to installs, and that's gonna lead to you would have situations like this. In Season 2, I do this. And now I keep the Snake Eyes, right? So you wake up to Dick, Enhanced. You wake up to Soul Eraser. You wake up to Incinerator. And it's so nice to have that gone. These were systematic changes where I'm like super on board, super good for the game, awesome job. There were other things I would have liked to see, like for example, heat regeneration is still in the game. So Kazuya does a down back 1-2 on you, Law does a nunchuck, they get heat back. Why is that still in the game? Remove it. I also would have liked to see them remove the amount of tailspin we can do in combos. I think 2 of them is excessive. I think in general, combo damage is okay in this game due to recoverable health. Combos actually do less damage than they ever have, but it's combo length that is way too...
That is also not true. From the case to case, some characters do more damage than they ever have. Like when you say characters have less combo damage than they ever have, this is just misinformation because you didn't have time enough, I guess, to lab extensively. I give you this, there's a lot of characters, but there's characters now in this game, and for example, the best example, easiest example is Jack or Lars. These characters do an amount of damage I can't even comprehend it. Or Lydia.
Long in this game. You spend an eternity in the air in this
or
game.
Leroy.
So I would have loved to see something done about
There's
that.
many
like,
examples.
example,
So therefore,
this,
what he's
heat burst
it's just a
bound.
wrong
Do we need 2
statement.
bounce? We don't need 2 bounce. We don't need 2 tailspins per combo. And then on a character basis, and now we're gonna get into the still some good stuff. But here's where the shit really commences, and it's again the character by character basis. What happened to the characters? And here we have a bipolar devs who just they'll do something magical to one character and fix them, and then they'll just take a shit on another character, destroy that character's identity, make the character hilariously OP, and you just don't understand what they're doing. So certain characters are more back to basics, and certain other characters they're not playing Tekken, basically. King still has homing Giant Swing for some reason, and so does Armor King. And you're sitting there like, is that back to basics? I don't know. I don't know if Giant Swing should be homing. What do I know? You know, 10 frame throw that when it blue sparks you can't.
Hey, someone said something interesting. Someone said something interesting. Imagine a round was 200 seconds long and you had like 500 HP points or 600. And you play one long ass round for the entire game instead of one round per one round. Like, I think it's an interesting concept. I don't know, it sounds interesting.
And he's one of the examples of a job well done, 100%. I'm so happy to say that the changes to Brian reflect everything I wanted to see happen to him, bar Cannon. I would have nerfed Cannon as well, but it remains the same. So it is still +5 counter at launcher. I would have loved to see that go to like neutral.
Comebacks would be impossible.
Everything else took,
in this game?
Truck to
I don't think so.
Brian.
You can do comeback.
Requiem saw a damage nerf. They removed
like a long first one, yeah.
Coded in built-in leniency on Taunt Heat Smash. So Taunt Heat Smash is no longer a baby mode option for Brian. So now Brian is incentivized to do this, Taunt back 4, which requires a tremendous amount of skill. And it's also way more rewarding, right? Because if he does that, it doesn't consume his heat. He stays in heat. It's just that when Taunt Heat Smash was so easy and gave this OP, you didn't really give a shit. But now when you do the Taunt Heat Smash, you're gonna leave heat and you're gonna leave Snake Eyes. I'm gonna go to heat and I'm gonna do my reversal. It no longer wall splats and it eats up way more heat as well. Gigantic nerf to Brian, super nice to see it. And now we're gonna look at Incinerator. So all of this were his dumbest tools, right? An Incinerator took a sledgehammer to the face. It uses up more heat now. But most importantly, the frames of Incinerator. So 3 hits used to be -2, it is now -7. 4 hits is now punishable.
How you can get all the characters instead of 100 euros.
Kizaru Amena Godum.
Yo, thank you for the Prime. I don't know what country you are from, but if you have any family in Tel Aviv, maybe tell them to invite you. You can go there to a wall. And when you put your hands there, you can become the biggest streamer, you get the characters for free, and you get like a PC that never frame drops and things like this. So maybe it's worth a shot.
And if I do the whole thing, less pushback, minus 13. So the entire incinerator now has lost its stupid mind games, or it is straight up punishable. So this is so good for Brian as a character. And then we can look at Ana. A lot of great things happen with Ana. Arguably, these two
I can't
are like the
believe
best
people
characters
still
in the
cry
game.
about
Asuka also got
Brian.
great.
Bro, I be very real with you. I think the one of the key moves that they should have nerfed and they didn't, which I really don't understand, is QCB1. Why is it still +5? Big mistake. Very big mistake.
Changes. That 1+2 no longer gives you 4-2 follow-up. This was the
CB1,
unholy,
bro?
disgusting demon
CB1?
trio of Season 2. And they all got sizable nerfs. So
+5?
cool. So with Ana, for example, her G-Clef, which you've seen at TF2 in tournaments about 59,000 times, is no longer a G-Clef. She lost it. So this used to be guaranteed on counter it. You could confirm it. So starting to counter it, elbow. It's gone. They nerfed down back 4. No longer counter it since.
I played against Fran yesterday, I think 3 times. I won, I think, all the matches against him. And he was saying, what's the point of playing Ana? We have nothing. We have nothing to win the games with. And I don't understand this mindset, especially from him, because how about you just get better at the game? Instead of trying to change to something new, which is broken again. Like, that mindset is what got us here. I was a little bit disappointed because this is not how I know him. And this character still can win. Like, I don't know why he... Like, it's very disappointing.
To elbow. Absolutely fantastic. Down forward 1-2-4 here. That on counter it would give you a guaranteed ass heat engager, and that will launch in heat. Gone. Full crouch down for 1 went from -10 to -12. Fantastic. Full crouch down for 2 has less tracking. You can just sidestep it cleanly now to the left. Super nice changes. And they gave her this new move. Oh, sorry, this one. And it's complete dog shit. A dog shit low. Nice. Oh, and Hammer Chance 1 recovers slower on wave. So if she tries to mix you with this for frames, you duck that, you have quite a bit of time now to punish her. I'm just gonna say in short, I'm not gonna show you every character, but positive changes for Jin, positive changes for Claudio, positive for Devil Jin, while keeping his identity true, I think. Reyna was decent. Clive got some nice changes as well. Those were the most positive. So now we're gonna start with the really negative stuff. This is on a character basis, and they basically, characters that weren't a problem before are awful now. And a lot of characters have less identity, shit identity. But on a systematic level, something that did worry me a lot before I get into the characters is that...
Do you think Lee has identity now? Does Lee have a specific identity now? Counter hits, like, is there an identity that Lee Chaolon now currently owns? An identity? I don't know, there is no identity. If you turtle, he doesn't care, he fucks you up. If you fucking not turtle, he fucks you up. If, like, I don't know what to do. And if you want to option select, he fucks you up. Like, it's just... Can Lee players even enjoy playing? Like, I remember Lee players, they were the type of players who like to work for their W's. They were not Aliza players. They were not like Ana players. But now they are in that category. Do they enjoy this, to be there? You really are in that category now. It's very unfortunate.
You know how we decided that like chip damage was bad for the game and we started removing it after Season 2? We started cutting down on chip damage with the hotfixes and emergency patches we got after Season 2 launch. For some reason, I started noticing in the patch notes for Season 3 that it started showing up again. Like, this now does chip damage, this now does chip damage. And I'm just sitting there like, why are we yet again starting to add chip damage? I thought we all decided it was shit. It was bad for the game. It's like, for example, Paul mixes you in deep dive here. I'm gonna set.
And this
Jhin to
here,
block.
what he said, I thought we were done with this. The developers clearly told us that they were not done with this because they communicated it this time. They released the fucking trailer and wrote back to basics. And naturally, everyone got very excited. When they saw the excitement, they got scared. And then they posted, hey, guys, wait a minute. This is maybe a misunderstanding because we are not gonna deviate from the vision. So therefore, where they have brought back the chip damage. And they have given characters, again, new broken moves. They will never go away from this because this is their philosophy, or this is Michael Murray's philosophy. This is Michael Murray and Nakatsu 8. You have to understand it. What these guys like is what you get. It's not what you like. This game is not bottom to top, it is top down. Meaning, the developers create the game for themselves on how you are supposed to play the game, which they enjoy. They are not creating a game for the people. It is reversed.
So this is a mid from deep dive. Mid. And this is minus 13, right? This attack here. 2, 3, minus 13. So that's risky, right? So then he has a double high, right? And the way this works was that if you didn't commit
there's no
to
possibility.
a duck, right? Which meaning
there's
you would
no
block
possibility.
this.
I tell you the possibility here. Imagine you are not talking now about a video game, you're talking about a cocaine junkie, okay? If you would ask me, is there a possibility for a cocaine junkie to stop being a junkie? I would look at the junkie and ask him, do you even wanna stop it? And if he says, I don't think I have a problem, then he cannot be saved. And when they say we don't wanna deviate from our vision, that's equivalent to a junkie that thinks he has no problem.
Would get +4, right? And that seems pretty good, right? That's strong enough in my opinion. But now they were like, no, add chip damage. So if you block the second high, you now take chip damage. You take 9 damage on chip, and he gets the +4. And I'm sitting there like, but why did you add chip damage to this? He already has a mix here, where if you try and duck the high, he has a mid, right, to knock him down. And he already gets +4 if they choose to block this. Jhin doesn't need to take 9 damage here. But they added stuff like this on multiple characters, and I'm just sitting there like, but I thought we were done with this. I don't know, I just wonder about where the vision is with the game. Very confusing, but King still has homing giant swing. Is that back to basics? But giant swings are homing? 10 frame throws? And then for some reason, the most god-awful toxic wall combo in the game, they didn't get rid of it. It just stays. So this stays. This into sprint mix. That is fucking awful to be on the receiving end of. That stays. And muscle armor stays. This stays. Full screen heat smash into floor break. Tracks as well. That stayed for some reason. Mid poke. -6 on block. Mid poke. That counter hits confirms into 76 damage. That stays. So, back to basics? Like, do you get what I'm saying? How confused I was. And again, launching throw.
Okay, this gets downplayed too much in my opinion, and I will explain to you why. People brought up to me that it's a one break, and on high level, they will break it anyway. You can maybe say I am not high level or whatever, I don't care, but for the reason why I cannot consistently break this, and I guess many people will have the same problem too, is because he has a 1+2 mix. So how am I supposed to break that every time? It's not like he has this in isolation.
also, I gotta say, not a huge fan. Again, this one is not as busted as a lot of people think due to being its 14 frame startup. So typically, you know, command throws a 12 frame startup. This is 14 frame startup. He leads with the...
So what is that supposed to do? Instead of 12 frame, you have a 14 frame. That's saying like, hey, it's an electric, but it's 14, so it's not a big deal. That it just makes no sense what he's saying here.
left arm. Pros are gonna break this every time, and you're gonna hit one anyway.
That's just not true.
On this character, but still, you're like, that's not gonna be super fun for people who are in like blue ranks or Tekken King, those kind of ranks. It's gonna be kind of toxic.
It's gonna be toxic for Arslan Esh as well.
But that's not the problem. Like, this is the problem. You remove Wall Splat Heat Smash, but this still tracks. This still hits full screen. So now we're on Law, and this character unfortunately got buffed. And this is a character that already, in my opinion...
Okay, now I'm excited because I have no idea what Law got. I have no idea yet. Let's see.
In Season 2 was one of the strongest characters in the game, pretty much like top 5. Obviously, the Heat Smash Wall Splat is gone, but that doesn't stop the Heat Smash from being extremely strong with its plus frames on block. He'll still do it like this, which a lot of low players will pressure you with, you know, while standing 4 on block, while standing 4 on hit into the Heat Smash. Tremendous frames, 14 frame startup. So that was nerfed, but for some reason we gave this character like insane buffs. We're gonna start with the new move, up back 1+2. So this is a 16 frame startup homing move. Very fast, that you can access from back turn as well. You press 1+2, same attack, 1 frame faster. It's now 15 frames. So very fast homing move. High, that wall splats on normal hit, like so, and it's +1 on block. And it's +1 on block on a character that has a jab G-clef that confirms, right, into a wall splat. So again, +1 against a character that has a jab like this. So I just don't see that as being a very good combo. I think that's very bad. I don't know why they gave him this. And then Season 2 made DSS forward 1 unsafe at -11. Used to be safe. This heat engager, right? And instead, they made forward freeze safe, which used to be unsafe, which is a slower option, this kick. Well, now, they couldn't help themselves, could they? Well, someone really likes Law at Bandai Namco. Maybe Ninja Killa is the CEO of Tekken Studio Bandai Namco. So, the Blue Spark version, see if I can do it, not being a Law player and all. There we go. That's the Blue Spark version. You note it's still -11, but it's got way more pushback.
Wait a minute.
Way more pushback.
So this means we cannot punish this anymore?
Okay, so you can't punish anymore. Great!
Oh.
And it's also 1 frame faster on startup. That doesn't sound like a lot, but suddenly, from his best move while standing 4, which is a normal hit +12, now a counter hit, he yet again scores a wall splat. And it's guaranteed on counter hit. You know, yet again, gets a wall splat here. Like so. Can we do the proper combo? We can. Okay. On a character that was already so unbelievably strong, I'm just sitting there like, so why does he get these buffs? You understand where I'm coming from, how it's like,
not sure,
you do the
Leon.
right thing on certain characters, and then on other characters it's an absolute disaster. And it obviously didn't stop there. They gave June buffs she absolutely did not need. Dragunov didn't get nerfed enough. Victor got some hilariously stupid buffs. Leo got some hilariously stupid buffs. Lee, unfortunately, remains a fucking train wreck, a shadow of his former self. So here I have the Lee patch notes, right? I find Lee a cool example. Well, cool. Well, he's an example of everything that's kind of dog shit with Tekken 8, in my opinion, in terms of losing identity. Lee is characterized by a playstyle that excels at using keep-out moves, punishes, and returns gained from perfect inputs. When they explain to you how the character is supposed to operate, right? They get it right. He's supposed to play around keep out and counter hits and punishes. That's sort of what Lee has always been, and he's really good at that keep out. Like, you're very hesitant to try and challenge this character, right? Due to this stuff, right? And again, the punish, you know, is so strong. Beautiful. So you're with them there. Like, they actually explain their character and what they wrote there. But so then you go, okay, but so what is this one? This rushdown. He's supposed to be defensive. He's not supposed to be oppressive, where you feel like you're getting, you know, pitbull to death. It's like this back free here. He's not supposed to have a low like this that gives frames. Natural. This move is homing. This move is homing. He's not supposed to be suffocating you when he's attacking you. That's the whole thing. He is supposed to be flustered when you're turtling up and not pressing into him. He wants you to press into him. Tekken 8 Lee doesn't give a shit if you don't press into him. He'll start throwing this shit into huge frames. And then if you don't duck, he'll throw this. You can't step this. This is homing. This is homing. There's no option select. You just guess. This also hits so far away. You can't backdash it. You can't sidestep it. You can't backdash this. You can't sidestep this. It's pretty toxic, right? You're just guessing. There's no option select. There's no step this side. You're just constantly guessing. And he has big frames. And then, of course, whatever the fuck this is, right? And this character's still, like, they buffed the tracking on this. So that it's a mix now.
Now people will say, yeah, but this is steppable, but this doesn't matter because the opponent you're fighting against is, well, if the odds are good, not a chimpanzee. So he has a homing +2 on block mid that counter it launches, and he conditions you properly with that, and then he can bang this out. And then you will not be able to step that. That's the whole point.
Down for 3-4 and down 1+2. And Lee's still 2 taps, by the way. Look at this damage. He's still 2 taps. He can still clear more than half your health bar with a good counter at launch. And then when you wake up at the wall, you're taking this mix, right?
Well, maybe, did they increase the speed of 1+2 as well? Because I know guys like GM, they will, like, he used to argue like this. Koreans were the first time I played against them, I noticed they do a sidestep into jab in order to jab me out of my slow start of homing move. Like, it's... I would really like to talk with him about this.
I'm just sitting there going like, well, what is this character supposed to be now? And it's such a shame it is like this, because I feel like you could fix this so easily, in my opinion. It's such a shame, and yeah, I don't want to, you know, get into too many.
No, not
like
after.
So many examples.
He is saying while you're stepping and the opponent is trying to intercept your step with a 1+2, you step into jab, so that you stop him from doing the move.
Of characters that got shit changes. This is basically the patch. So again, on a systematic level, good changes. On a lot of characters, good changes. Not a whole lot happened on my main. It was kind of boring. Kind of nothing happened to Kazuya.
Bro, you know what this feels like? Tekken 8 is Dwight Howard No. Tekken 8 is fucking Kobe Bryant, and he's throwing a ball like close to the rim, and then Dwight Howard or fucking Dwayne Wade come, and they are now Virtua Fighter, and they just have to dunk it in. If they release a proper fighting game, this game is gonna take everyone from this game, bro. If they do it right. It's really a LA hoop.
This is his new move. Doesn't do anything. That they removed, as I also wanted this. This is gone. This is super good. That was broken.
And this is my problem with the developers. Like, okay, we said remove down big 1-2, up forward 4-4 in case they remove everyone else's over the top bullshit. What happens? They give some characters even more and nerf Kazuya. I just don't know what... That makes no sense.
So now you're gonna do this.
Imagine you are now a new player, you like Kazuya, you wanna pick up Kazuya. You play against fucking Claudio, you have no chance. You play against Anna also, still you have no chance. You play against Azuka, you have no chance. You play against Lars, you have no chance. You gotta play like 2 times better than the opponent to even have a chance in the first place. Like, I wonder if we reached a point in the community where when the Kazuya player wins, he is not carried or playing a broken character or is downplaying, or like, can we as a community just admit now that maybe playing Kazuya now is not because you think he is particularly strong, because he is the weakest Mishima the game has to offer. Devil Jin gets a perfect electric on normal hit. Heihachi just makes no fucking sense. Reina has no fucking counterplay. Jin has a mid +2 on block. Like, what do you want?
That's it. And then Damek 2. I might make a video talking about it, but there's not a whole lot to talk about with Kazuya. It's so unfortunate. So many characters, shit changes.
It's not worth going for it because the damage is scaled. Rather, when you hit me with up forward 3, you get an electric launch for free. How is it not worth it? Then if it's not worth it, give me down back 2 on normal hit, and then I do electric follow-up and do the scaling, and I say thank you. If it's not worth it, give it to me, I take it.
Certain characters are treated well, whereas other characters, I guess, are meant to be the new ultra broken meta characters that are going to be torture to play against. It's a shame. I feel like, again, it just feels a bit cheap.
And what's going on with Devil Jin's Hell Sweep? Like, he has the best Hell Sweep in the game for decades. Then the Hell Sweep gets buffed, and then on season 3 it gets buffed again. Like, what are you supposed to... I don't know, bro. It's like a jihad suicide bomber wave dashing at you. One Hell Sweep, you're dead. I don't know what to do against him. You just duck for the fuck of it against him.
And there's no real insight, there's no real... They don't communicate, and there's no real vision. The final point is just we waited 9 months for this. We waited 9 months and it should have delivered more. I guess going forward, they have said that they want to change, they want to take it step by step. They want to do more patches, right? That's what they said, right? So one would hope that they fix the characters now that they fucked up. But at the same time, like with Season 2, it took forever. I don't know, I just find the whole thing so unfortunate. It's such a shame because this game it could be by far the best Tekken game ever made. Everything is there for it to so easily claim the throne and the crown, but for some reason there's gonna be some person or a couple of people who have to insist on the dumbest shit imaginable. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't even know what to say in conclusion. I'm just very disappointed. I'm very...
Okay. Now, you have the decision to make. Speg or Mike Hollow? Okay, Speg is winning. Spagat. Speg.
Yo, what's up guys? It's Spag here. You guys are all doing well. This video that I'm going to make is just going to be me talking. I don't have a script. I don't have anything in particular. I don't even know what I'm going to say. I'm just going to talk. And I want to just share my thoughts now because Season 3 came out, you know, at this point, at the time of the making of this video, about 10 hours ago. I played it a little bit. I checked the notes and then, you know, I went to sleep. So I want to give my impressions on this and just talk about everything in general. So let's talk. Season 3 did not go back to basics. And I think that in my mind, I knew that that would be the case because if you look at my previous videos, I spoke about what would have to happen for the game to go back to basics, and it would really require some pretty significant system changes and, you know, across the board nerfs to characters, which everybody definitely wanted, but was probably unlikely to happen. And now we look at it, and I think that even though people's expectations were kind of low, despite the back to basics phrase probably making people a little bit more hopeful, people's expectations were still quite low, and people are still surprised. And why are they surprised? You know, maybe you guys that are watching this video might not be too familiar with everything, so I'll try and break it.
Were you surprised? I was not surprised. I was not surprised because I predicted the Season 3 exactly with this tweet. And people didn't understand what I meant with this at the beginning, bro. This was Season 2. This was Season 2. And then I said this is gonna be Season 3. Not surprised. So I wonder if you were surprised.
Down for you. Basically, the system didn't change. The system didn't change at all. You know, so let's talk about the system first, right? Heat burst, heat smash, installs and all that kind of stuff. So there was a minor change which we knew about already, that when you finish heat, you don't keep your install afterwards. You know, that was something that people were saying, yeah, that needs to be a thing. You know, it's a bit volatile, and they did that, which is great. That should have been in the game from the very beginning anyway. You shouldn't have kept your install after heat, because you basically keep
a little bit, because humans are naturally optimistic. Well, if I do for 2 years, you say to me, give me, I don't know, give me a milkshake with Maxi King inside, and I give you diarrhea with piss inside, and you drink it and you say, hey, this is diarrhea and piss, and then next season I give you again diarrhea and piss, and then for the 3rd time you come again and you expect a different outcome, then this is insanity, I would say. Then you are just weird. That's not human, positive, like naturally optimistic. At some point you gotta drop the optimism, otherwise you're suicidal.
Your heat is done and it's like, it's too much. They also mentioned that they were gonna get rid of the 6 characters that have heat smash, that wall splats, and now if you actually look at it, those aren't actually gone. Apart from 1 character, the other 5, if you whiff the first hit of the heat smash,
Season 2 was Stalingrad patch, this is 9/11. I think Season 2 was 9/11 and this is October the 7th.
Connect and wall splat you, so they couldn't even get that right. And generally speaking, a lot of people were talking about heat bursts, including me from the very beginning. I can show you from Season 1, I was talking about heat bursts and how problematic I thought that it is as a mechanic. Again,
Medusa, let's be for real, you were shocked they didn't nerf characters. I was expecting some nerfs at least. No, I was not shocked because I said on stream already 1 month ago, guys, they will nerf some characters and replace them with another, moving the goalposts. I exactly explained what I'm expecting. When I'm making this, oh my god, what the fuck is this, and all this shit on stream, I'm trying to also a little bit entertain you, but surprised I am not.
Change still leads to a bound, still +1, absolutely the same. So that, you know, the system didn't change, and I don't think that I expected it to change, really. The fact that Heat Smash is still Wall Splat is kind of funny to me, though. That actually made me laugh. I can't believe that's still a thing, you know. If you whiff the first hit, then the second hit will still Wall Splat you. And if that happens to someone in a tournament, man, it's going to be so hilarious, man. But again, yeah, that they didn't even do the thing they said they were going to do, right? So yeah, that's not great. Then we move on to the characters, and you know, this is where it did shock me, because I wasn't expecting system changes, but I did expect characters to get nerfed. My expectation, though, was that characters would get nerfed, but they wouldn't get nerfed enough. But then we would get those nerfs in the following patches, because that's what they said. They said, look, this patch is not going to do everything, but we are going to work throughout the year to continue the work that we did that we did in season 3, that we're going to be releasing in season 3, right? But this patch,
this is the timeline of events. Okay, I will explain it to you in detail. The game is not out yet, and we get a CNT. We try it out, and a few of us thought it's a developer's kit, and we thought that from all this horse shit new things, they want to gather like infos on what we would like. Heat Burst, Heat Smash, and all these things, like pick one of them, and then maybe a more fleshed out version with each season. Then the game came out, and they give us everything at once, and we were like, oh, that was meant to all be in the final game? Okay then. They didn't have an arcade release, because naturally we're trying to gaslight each other in order to not feel so down. And then we said we will play it 1 more year, and then they will fix it. It's just a arcade release. They didn't release it on arcades, they didn't know any better, and this is it. Season 2 comes out, and they completely shit on the entire game, adding, like, in a forest of mistakes, adding gas and fire. Okay, now the forest of mistakes is on fire on top of that. And then we say, okay, we will play this season, can you give us a little bit patches and fix it a little bit? No, we cannot, because it would destroy the competitive integrity. Well, there was no competitive integrity in the first place if Arslan Ash and Ni lose to Fergus and Tibetano and stuff like this. There's no competitive integrity. And then we wait and we get season 3, and then they shit 1 more time on it. That's the timeline of events. And now the the present is, hey guys, we developed a sloppy Discord server where you can speak to AI and post your wishes and demands that we clearly showed for the past 7 years that we don't care about in the first place. But at least you get the negative conversations out of the public view so that we don't have a PR problem. This is now. Right now. So don't even bother with that Discord. In case you can make a few screenshots and put it on Twitter and laugh about the demands, I guess. Yeah, fair.
It wasn't nerfs. There weren't nerfs. If you look at the actual patch notes themselves, they've gotten rid of the up and down arrows because I think they didn't want people to look at it and be like, oh damn, there's a lot of buffs here. You know, because you can clearly visually see. It's so easy to see when a character's been buffed a lot or nerfed a lot by those arrows, but they got rid of them now. And I think that's because they knew if we buff certain characters, people are going to just screenshot it and get angry. It's like, for me, why would you get rid of that? That was a really good way for people to tell, like, what the actual properties were, because sometimes the language can be complicated, right? They talk about certain things and it doesn't make sense sometimes. Like, look at this clip from Joey that I was watching him yesterday. Just check out this clip with Joey with when he's using Eddie.
Modified the opponent's reaction on counter hit for the second hit to improve follow-up opportunities. To improve follow-up opportunities, it was a counter hit launcher before, and now it's not. What is? Who wrote this?
You see what I mean? Like, like, did Namco think that was a nerf or a buff? I don't know, but we haven't got the arrows anymore, so we can't tell. But the thing is that characters got buffed that didn't deserve it. And I can go through the list of characters for you, but to be honest, you know, you look at characters like Leo, you look at characters like Jin Kazama,
Thank you,
and
man.
to be honest, even Ling Xiaoyu, they got these buffs that they did.
Okay, why did they get these buffs? Why did they get these buffs, bro? We speak about Ling Xiaoyu, yeah, and we are trying to explain because Ling Xiaoyu was already broken, regardless of what Speed Kicks and all these other guys say. Whenever we are trying to fucking address something, all of a sudden they say, ah, yeah, it's a skill issue, you don't know the matchup, this and that, yeah, the character is very risky. And then all of a sudden the character gets buffed, while it never needed buffs. And then now all of a sudden they say, well, the character was always strong. Yeah, but what happened when we were saying that and you were defending it? Did you forget about this? They do this since the game released, even with Dragunov.
Didn't need. Jack got buffs, and I don't think that it was wrong to buff Jack. I just think that he was buffed in the wrong way. I think that people who played Jack wanted to see down back 1 buffed, you know, like go back to being +2, or the 2 jab having a bit better hitbox, you know, because it's really not that good in Tekken 8 compared to the old games. But they gave him like some pretty good buffs in terms of like new moves and all of that stuff, right? But yeah, generally speaking, most characters got buffs that didn't actually deserve them, man. And we talk about nerfs. I feel like we saw less nerfs than we saw buffs in this patch, and that was shocking to me. That shocked me. There's only a few characters that
maybe they changed their minds,
that were significant enough to talk about. And I think if you look at Anna, for example, she, you know, the down back
the main man also
give
changes
you a guaranteed hit after anymore on counter hit. The 2 jab doesn't give you anything now guaranteed after counter hit. Like forward 4-2s change the properties in the way that it knocks down, and you know, those are good nerfs. You know, those are decent nerfs. Has it changed what she's going to be able to do with her stance transitions and stuff? No, but you know, full crouch down forward 2 is apparently easy to sidestep now. Full crouch down forward 1, the mid is now more punishable. So yeah, they nerfed certain things about Anna, which was good, and these are things that I'm happy about. I think that those are good changes. You look at Asuka Kazama, full crouch down forward 3 is now 3 frames slower, I believe, and does half the chip damage on block, and it pushes you further back. It's still a very strong move, but it's not going to be as oppressive as it once was. The knockdown forward 2 now, the Tooth Fairy that she has that used to flip you over, that doesn't flip you over anymore. It pushes you.
This community is so divided. Can they put a cohesive stance in front of the devs? Yeah, but the problem is we cannot give the fault to the people, because the people, majority of people are just low IQ. That's just statistics. And you cannot expect a community to do the work for the developers. The way the game was designed and structured was like, we are employees that not get paid. We are supposed to report everything and tell them how to make a game, while at the same time they are not listening to us and always making promises while then doing the opposite. Like, at some point, you just gotta give up.
It rolls you away. And you can't get that anymore after down 1+2. So one of her power lows, her only power low probably, has been pretty significantly nerfed.
Is this
down
the main man?
The flip over move as well that she has, the soccer kick. That also, I think, now pushes you a bit further away than it usually used to, right? So those are pretty significant nerfs. On top of the fact that you can't get your install after heat anymore for Asuka, that's also a nerf. So those are pretty good nerfs for Asuka. But largely, she's still a very strong character that's like a bit of a powerhouse, right? And can still be played largely the same. Claudio got some pretty good nerfs, right? With sidestep 4 no longer doing anything on counter hit, down forward 3-1 now being -14. Is that crazy?
Is
well,
this
I don't know,
the issue of the new
down
devs?
4-3 anyway. So
Bro,
the fact that
you know what's the craziest part? The balancing team, the old one of season 2, got fired, and they put in the old balancing team from Tekken 7 days, and somehow they still do the same. It's not about the people that are making the balancing, it's about the decisions that are coming from the top. And that's why you need to focus on 2 specific people, Nakatsu and Murray. I tried to explain this so many times.
-14, is it that big of a deal? I don't know. but you know, still a decent chain there, because now risk reward has gone more in favor of the player playing against Claudio in those scenarios, right? But then you look at characters like Brian. Did Brian get any nerfs? Man, he got like that one nerf with that flurry move, the incinerator, and that was a definitely needed nerf. But I just don't see that he got any, like QCF 1+2 is the same, QC back 1 is the same, and he still has his crazy damage, and I think they nerfed his taunt heat smash and stuff, but you know, that shouldn't have been in the game to begin with. So I don't know, man, like, and in terms of nerfs, there weren't nerfs that I could look at.
And this is exactly the reason why I explained, and many people think I am a crazy tinfoil head when I say these things, but I just understand how corporate structure works, and I know how this industry operates, and I know why all the fighting games are going into the same brain-dead direction. It is because shareholders buy so many stocks and share them between them, so it looks like there's multiple of them. For example, Vanguard and BlackRock, and then they have under fucking charters that also buy stocks, and now they are sitting at the table explaining to them how to make a game in order to be able to milk us the best and get rid of the old community, because they were not drilled for consumer dronism, since they are too much educated on the game and they are not easy to be satisfied. So they make a game for idiots, okay? As simple as that. So now you have a problem of them buying the game and forcing everyone in the company to go into the direction they want because they own them.
This is acceptable, because there's characters that got buffs that didn't deserve buffs. You know, like I said, you know, Jin and Leo and Xiao Yu and more, you know. I haven't gone through all the characters to see all the characters and see what they got. Lily got buffed as well. Bloody hell, man. Lily is super strong in my opinion, and she got buffed too. So, yeah, definitely I'm not happy about that. But then, you know, we look at the fact that they added in new moves. What are these new moves? These new moves are just were extracted from strings and isolated as new moves. So you look at Dragunov's 4-1. They added up back 1, which is just the second hit of Dragunov's 4-1. Of course feedback
is worthless.
Which tracks sidestep right, by the way.
I'm telling you what they do with the feedback. I'm telling you what they do with the feedback. People didn't believe me there also. But if you just have simple pattern recognition, you will understand. So now, take a step back and try to observe. With the knowledge I gave you, you already know the developers want to get rid of the old community and exchange it for people that they can get milked easily and have low demands, okay? A complete new demographic, it's called. So then they tell us what we shall do, what you like about the game and what you don't like. And then exactly what we don't like, we got more of it, and exactly what we liked got less. We said we don't like stance gameplay, we got more of it. We said we don't like 50-50, force 50-50, we got more of it. We said we don't like Akuma specifically and his dash properties and making a 50-50 that is unsafe on block safe, and they made everyone Akuma. We said we don't like it when you release broken DLC characters, they give broken DLC characters. We say to them we don't like long combos, they bring out a new season and they make the combos longer. So if you still think this is a coincidence and the things that you say on Twitter is because they want to listen to you, yeah, they want to listen to you so they can make the opposite. Just get that into your brain.
Oh, yeah. That's really annoying now as well, because that's a move that now tracks to Dragunov's weak side and is not even like a new move really, it's just a second hit of a string. Asuka's 2-1 down 1+2, the 3-hit string. Her new move is just the third hit of that string. You look at Hwoarang and how he just basically, they just took Baek Du-san's 1+2 4 and put it in the game and said, yeah, here we go, Hwoarang has a new move. And some of these moves are like really annoying. Look at Lars's up back 1, which is just his old 1+2 move from the older games, which also tracks sidestep right, which is Lars's weak side. So that's going to be again another annoying thing to deal with. You look at now the fact that Lee can go into stance when he does slide, for example, or the fact that you can do from Hitman stance forward 2-1. So if you try to size that right and duck against Hitman stance now, that's going to be really annoying to deal with. So they've gotten rid of options. You look at Law, for example, and Law has this new up back 2 move, which is just his back turn 1+2 move, which is +2 on block, +16 on hit, 16 frames, homing, wall splat. It's like these are moves now which are not allowing you to be able to move. Jin now has this down forward 2 dumbass move, down forward 2 1+2, which is +2 on block and knocks you down.
This is exactly what I meant when the main man said now Jin is becoming a more interesting character. Brother, wait out, go ranked now. Don't wait for all the pro players to already reach the high ranks and then do your sloppy fucking GOD run with all these shit bastards and call the people that beat you snipers and block them and shit like that, yeah? Do it like everyone else and then find Jin players, play against them, and then let's see how you mold, and then let's see how all of a sudden the narrative changes and the YouTube main man and the Twitch main man go left and right, okay? That's what I want from you.
This is when he's in heat, right? And it's like, what are we doing, man? What are we actually doing here? So I feel like there's less options against certain characters now, because you have to now think about these new moves that they added in, which cover options that weren't really easily covered before, right? So these new moves are not only lazy, they're not new moves really, right? They're just extracted from strings. And they just say it's a new move. You know, for example, Miari, they said that Miari's up back 1 is a new move. It's not a new move. It's just her up forward 1, which you can use to switch sides. It's the same move. You use up back 1 if you want to switch sides. That's the only difference. But it's not a new move. It's literally the same move, the same animation, the same damage, the same everything. So there weren't new moves anyway. And I don't think people even cared about new moves, right? So I don't think a lot of those new moves are that strong. The ones I mentioned are pretty strong, like in terms of what they can do in the matchup. But a lot of those moves aren't really that good. So I'm not really too mad about it. It's just that it's kind of lazy. That's pretty much the only bad thing I can say about it, right? And then we move on to what the pros are saying, you know? Unfortunately, a lot of intermediate and pro players that have been in the game for a long time, that have competed, that have traveled, that have been sponsored and gone around the world and, dedicated their life to this game, are saying that they're quitting the game now. They're quitting competing. They're not going to stop playing the game, but they're not going to compete anymore. I think the first one was Joker, who told me, by the way, that, before the patch, that if this game, if this season isn't good, if it doesn't go in the direction that it should be going in, then he's just going to stop, because it's been for these players very stressful. They might not have said it publicly because you don't want to say things publicly. I mean, look what happened to me when I was too public with the things that I say, right? And for those of you who know, right? But like, sometimes you want to just keep it, keep no drama. You don't want to
And this is what I try to explain.
They're not happy.
He is the live example. This is what I try to explain. So Tekken is a pyramid, and at the top is Michael Murray, okay? And if you want to go up in the ranks to get closer to the top of the pyramid, because he has the more money, yeah? Now listen carefully to this. You need to appease to the corporation style, which Michael Murray incentivizes. Michael Murray is a person that wants only yes men around him, and when you say anything contrary to his position, you fuck up your likelihood of getting opportunities in the community. And therefore I said that these people are shills. And then people said, oh, Medusa thinks when they tweet something and defend the game, they get paid. No, this is not Israel that pays people $7,000 on Twitter to post fucking Israel has a right to defend themselves. It's because they don't want to lose their opportunities, and Michael Murray is known for this. Spec talked about this and CBM talked about this. They said the Japanese players are afraid to speak out because they are the ones that work the closest with Bandai Namco, and they know whoever criticizes the direction of the game just doesn't get regarded for future collaborations. So you don't get regarded for future collaborations, you fuck your life in Tekken terms, and then you gotta make a choice. Either you speak for the people, and then you might even get hate from the people that you are trying to represent in the first place, which happened to me, or you go the main man route. But then you will eventually receive the backlash when people start to get behind it. And now, no matter how much he's gonna pretend as he's one of us now, and it's not gonna work anymore. So you did this to yourself. And that's why he is not commentating anymore. Because he did Heatspeak. And Heatspeak was criticizing the game. No more commentary for him. No more opportunities. Not in Evo anymore. He was one of our best commentators. He did a lot for the game. And it doesn't matter what kind of maybe personal scrabbles you have with him. He was more positive than he was negative. But unfortunately, the real people, they always get shit. And the ones that sell out are regarded as the heroes. And this is how the world works at the moment. So Tekken is just a reflection of the bigger picture.
They weren't happy with it, right? But Joker has just straight out come and said that, you know, I'm not playing this game anymore. Look at what Nee said as well. Nee made a tweet saying, you know, talking about Kazuya's 112 now, but saying apart from this, those who expected a return to basics will feel seriously let down. Honestly, I didn't think the design could get any worse. It will be hard to attract both new and existing
Can you
players.
really be angry to people who live life good because of Tekken and don't want to destroy it? Yeah, I can be mad with them because I said to those people directly. I said, hey guys, if you want to shill the game, at least don't be aggressive shill. Because some people decide to not shill the game, why do you attack them? What did the main man do? The main man attacked the people that were not selling out so he doesn't look like a dumbass. So everyone that was saying the truth was by him, this guy, he has no idea what he is talking about. Heat is not the problem. Who is gonna defend when they have heat? No one is gonna use Dragunov full crouch 12 frame launcher. This is the best Tekken of all time. If you don't like the game, maybe it's not for you. Just drop the game. Instead of doing that and attacking the people, he could just have chilled in silence. But no, he went on a confrontal way. He confronted the people that didn't want to go to his route, and that's the moment where you can be mad with him. No one is mad if he wants to feed his child. But people get mad when they get gaslit aggressively and insulted and being called psychopaths and sociopaths and all the things that he said. So maybe you understand.
Is such a strong statement from the godfather of Tekken, from the GOAT, the greatest of all time Tekken player, Nee, who has dedicated his entire life to this game, is saying that, you know, you will not be able to attract new or existing players. And Arslan says something that was so clever. You know, it was something that I never thought about. You know, but when you said it, I was like, this is so obvious, right? If you're trying to attract new players will usually sometimes look at, you know, what's happening in the competitive scene and what the experienced players are saying. You think of it as like sort of like a review. You know, if you're on Amazon and you want to buy something, you check the reviews. Is it good? If someone says it's shit and the reviews are really bad, then you're probably not going to buy it, right? Because you can trust the expertise of those people. And Arslan was saying in my podcast that, you know, why are you not trying to do things that will make your intermediate and pro level players happy? Because if you make them happy, the people that follow them will then be like, okay, I'm gonna buy the game. The new players will be like, yo, these pros are loving it, this game looks amazing, they're so positive, the reviews are positive, let's buy this game. And you know, it's gonna be hard to attract new and existing players because you know, again, it's like there's just bloat in this game now. It's hard. It was hard enough to play against some of these characters, and I've been teaching players this game, I've been coaching players, and it's like they'll ask me, what do I do against Reina, what do I do against Lydia?
Well, that was also a tough one when I was coaching people. They were asking me, how do I deal with the slow? And all I could come up with was react. What shall I tell him? Because I have no other solution myself, I just react. Maybe they don't have my reaction time. What are they supposed to do? Maybe they can't react every fucking can't 50-50. What are they supposed to do? There's no answer.
What do I do against like this character, that character? And it's like, man, it's so difficult to tell you what you need to do as a new player, because to be able to play against these characters, you have to have really intricate movements and high level, pro level strats sometimes to beat certain things, like the twitch ducks and the side step right duck and this, that, and certain timings and whatever. It's so difficult to coach people in this game when they ask for certain matchup advice, because of the amount of options that they have to cover their weaknesses. And that's the thing. I was also hoping that characters would have more defined weaknesses in this patch, but that's not the case. If anything, they've actually made it harder to play against these characters by giving them options that beat their weaknesses. So guys, I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what to say anymore. I mean, look, everything was out there. The information was out there for what the community wanted. Heatspeak was done back in season 1, all throughout season 1, and we spoke about all the things that we wanted. We had the best people on the show in terms of like the players and the content creators. We had Ni, we had CBM, we had Kokoma, Arslan Ash, John Ding, Rangchu, we had Arslan Ash and FDX, Speedkicks, Joker, all these guys. We had all these guys on the show, and we spoke about Joey Fury, clever people that know this game inside out, and we spoke, and everyone was really in agreement. The majority of the community was like, yeah, we want to see this because the game system is good. By the way, Speedkicks or some of these guys they were fans of season 1. They said, look, this system is cool. I like the fact that we have to engage and be aggressive, and that it's engaging more than Tekken 7. But the issue is that now there's too much bloat, and there's not enough like intricate strategy involved in this game, right? The weaknesses are no longer there, and it's hard to play this game now at a consistent level. And take into consideration as well that ranked hasn't really changed apart from the point distribution system. They haven't there's no deathmatch in the game when people were asking for deathmatch. If first to 2 is still going to be first to 2, and in a game which is so crazy like this, first to 2 can be really, really taxing to play against constantly, So I don't know, man. Like, to be honest, I'm just waffling here now at this point. I think I've been pretty clear with what I think about season 3, but I do now want to know what you guys think. I want to hear what you guys who I've been traveling with.
Okay, we go with the next one. This is now just tell me your opinions. Okay, you can decide. You can decide between FDX. Every time I think about FDX, I think about Speedkicks, because it's like FDX is just a speaker of Speedkicks. SpeedX. So we can watch FDX or Mike Hollow. Let's watch Mike Hollow. Come, let's watch Mike Hollow. I don't really like FDX. I don't like Mike Hollow also, but I hate FDX the most.
You're gonna give me what I want, or I'm gonna continue to hurt people you love.
If the heat state makes them be able to do this kind of cool thing, maybe I'll pick them up and try them out.
Give me what I want! Give me what I want!
It ties into the overall design philosophy first, which I think we touched on, is aggressive, right?
That's not what I want!
You lied twice. You lied to the community twice. A bull-face lie. This is not an accident. This wasn't an oopsie. You did this on purpose. Back to basics. What does that mean? Back to basics. Back to more bullshit. Back to bullshit. Even more bullshit. I actually can't believe this. This is incompetence unlike I have ever seen before, and the likes of which we have never seen before. I can barely even get my words out. I am astounded at the Tekken team, and I offer them no concessions and no grace. Now I'm going to tell you how I really feel about this entire situation. What kind of stupid bugged animation is that? You guys keep on saying on Twitter that the Tekken community does nothing and complain, but let me ask you this. If I ask you for a pancake with Nutella and Biscoff on it, and you give me a pancake with cat shit and dog shit on you, and I say to you, hey, I don't want this pancake that is full of shit, and you turn around to me and you say, why are you always complaining? I've got to look at you like, are you dumb?
He's right.
Are you stupid? What
He's
are we
right.
doing here? There were clear directives. The community was so clear with what they wanted. Now it is your game. It is the Tekken team's game. They can do with it whatever they want. But at the end of the day, you're trying to sell it to us so that basically we do the marketing for you. We put it on YouTube, we praise it, we play it, we interact with the store. So you would think on some level, even though it's your game, you would think, hey, do you know what? We're in the 3rd season. They've been pretty pissed at us for like 2 years now. Maybe we should just do what they want. And then you catfish us. You put these clips up of Horang and whoever else, I can't even remember who the other character was, doing the heat smash next to the wall, and we're all like, oh shit, they don't heat smash anymore. Lo and behold, the Tekken team didn't even bother. They didn't even bother to test it, because all you have to do is not land the first hit, and trust me when I say that's really not that difficult. The second hit will make it
I am
so that the
trolling
heat
for
smash
what?
will still wall splat. Now when we told you that we didn't want the wall splats to heat smash anymore, were we speak in Swahili or were we speak in English? I don't understand what you heard. When we say we don't want the heat smashers to hit the wall and splat, we mean that across the board, not just on the first hit. What are you guys smoking? So apparently we're not even testing things over at the Tekken office. So let me get this straight. When you guys put out these changes to say, oh, we've changed up the game and so nothing wall splats anymore, you didn't bother to check if the second hit wall splats. You know, it's
personally, from all the fucking things that we got with the new season, this is for me the least problematic, because if they whiff, they whiff. You can it's not the biggest problem, let's say. Like, okay, maybe it shouldn't, but I don't think it's so problematic, that one.
It's hilarious to me that we gave NRS such a hard time for Mortal Kombat. We gave them such a hard time, and I'm not saying that they were let off the hook just because of this, but my god, you guys have somehow outdone NRS, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't think that was possible, but well done to you. Season 2, like I said, launched in a disastrous state. But you know what? You tried something and it failed. We were pissed off at you then, but we're like, we'll kick back. We'll go into Season 3. There's no way that you could fuck up even more, and lo and behold, you've actually made a bigger mess. This is a bigger problem than Season 2. Because after you fuck up big time, you'd think to yourself, no, we need to lock in. But you didn't. You did the opposite again. What is wrong with you guys? You have these ugly ass animations in the game. I don't know who told you to put them in the game. They look absolutely atrocious. Bro, on my life, I am not even joking. That animation is so ugly. Who in their right mind was sitting at the offices thinking, yeah, we're going to put this into the game? Kazuya goes for a move that is basically hitting your shins, and Jin bounces around like this is a PS1 game, like we're playing some sort of... I don't even know what to call it. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I've got to ask you guys, do you
I didn't
hate
even
your
bother
own
so
game?
much with
I know
this.
you hate us. I know you hate... you ain't even got to tell me. I know you hate... I know...
Okay, here, some lore background to Michael Murray. Michael Murray, back when Fakumram was asked... So basically, there is a guy, his name is Arya Tayebi or something. Blasting Salami or something like this. And when he was speaking out against Fakumram, he also posted this on Twitter. Now this is official. So you cannot say, oh, this, who is it? Yeah, you're lying and shit. He got basically put out of Bandai Namco. He didn't get any Blasted Salami. He didn't get any fucking opportunities anymore. They cancelled him. How this just works in this fucking dog shit with Bandai Namco that I tried to explain for you to you for such a long time. And then, he spoke out against it and he got fucked. And then there was another guy that went up to Michael Murray directly after a tournament. And he was also speaking about Fakumram. And then he stated the following. You think I give a shit about these Tekken guys? I'm gonna go now home to my hot wife and not give a shit about all of this anymore. You think this is a lie? It's not. He hates us. He hates us. Michael Murray hates us with a passion. He is like a virus. That's why I went through his like early life. I went through where he comes from. I went through how he got into the development team. I know how he introduced those broken easy characters in Tekken 6. I know that he was funded by BlackRock. Yes, he was. You don't know about this. I know that every time he went up and he didn't even study anything that was related to game design at all. He started off in Tekken 4 in the development team. He started in the localization team. And then the localization team, powered by employees from BlackRock, got changed into something called diversity and inclusion, LGBTQIA+ visibility and accessibility. And now you can just see the rest. Okay, just see the rest. I'm not gonna mention a specific people with a specific affiliation to a specific country that is doing genocide right now, so I don't get banned, but you think the rest.
One of you is watching this at the studio right now, laughing your heads off. And to be honest with you, I'm starting to wonder if the Tekken team is there, or if it's Capcom, Stega, Koei Tecmo, and God knows who else that has infiltrated the offices to destroy this game. Kind of like when there was that conspiracy going around that Scott Hall and Kevin Nash infiltrated WCW to basically tank it for WWF, except it actually feels like that now. There's no way people that have grown up playing this game, grown up developing this game, this is what you give us. This is what you give us. And it's so sad to see all of these content creators and all of these players basically saying, I'm done, I'm out, I can't take this anymore. I just watched poor Blackheart. He sounded so defeated. I know it was 4 in the morning, but I actually felt bad for him. I saw Joker announcing his retirement. Now, I don't know if it's because he turned on season 3 and said, what the fuck is this? Or maybe it was just like, yo, I'm on to bigger and better things. But there is a...
The person that got Spag banned and the person that got... Wait. The person that got Spag and Spaghetti Rip banned. I'm gonna tell you now. Wait a sec. So her name is Sumi. This is the person. So she is basically the person that looks through the Tekken community and tries to find problematic people and that are not woke enough for her and don't align with the company's values. Okay? This is, by the way, I am talking to Spag here, so this is not like some fake shit. And then what she does is she didn't like Spag and she didn't like Spaghetti Rip. So what she did was she went through Spag's and Rip's like Twitch streams where they maybe said something that was not representative for the community's values. Maybe Spag was salty and he was insulting his opponent. Then she showed Heat Speak to Bandai Namco, and at the beginning she was only a part of the American compartment of the tournament scene in Bandai Namco. She only worked for American compartment, meaning when Spag and Rip at the same time got banned in America, where they couldn't simultaneously commentate on Evo, remember this, but they could do it in Europe. Then she went up in the ladder in Bandai Namco and she was in charge international, not only America, and that was the moment they got banned internationally. So this is what I'm just telling you, because I don't give a shit about these people. I don't want any opportunities from them. You can all suck my dick. I don't give a shit about your tournaments. I don't give a shit about your shill content creators that are part of the Bandai Namco content creator program. I don't care about any of you, because the game is in the bin anyway.
Stream of tweets. I'm not even going to put them on the screen for you guys because this video will be 2 hours long. of people just shitting on this update. So for any of you that come to this video like, oh, here we go again, they complain again, I'm going to ask you, do you have shit in your eyes? Or actually a better question would be, actually, do you know what, even not a better question, a better observation would be, you're the kind of person where if there's no food in the house, you'll go outside and you'll eat the cat shit on the floor and you'll say this was a good meal. Now that might sound like an insult to you. Actually, it just means that you're never going to be in this state. You're never going to crash out like the rest of us. You're never going to be like, I've had it. You're always going to be accepting because you enjoy shoveling shit into your mouth. You're a cheap date. You're what they call light work. Great, another wall splat from range 15. Like, what is this? When we said to you that we want more interaction and we want more engagement, were you not listening? It might sound a little bit aggressive, but I have seen a few people saying that this is a good patch.
What do I think about the patch so far? I'm gonna say overwhelmingly positive. I wish they would have done more, but there's more good than bad for sure.
How could you turn on this patch and go, even for a solitary second, this is good. This is good, but you know what? It's our fault. It's our fault. Tekken Team is like an abusive girlfriend, and we are the victim that keeps on going back. But at that point, are you even a victim or are you just an idiot? I think we are the idiots. I mean, we were stupid enough to have hope. And I sat on my stream. I sat there every day. And I said to people, you know what, guys? They fucked up Season 2, but there's absolutely no way. No way. The seasoned Tekken Team that has been around for eons is going to look at that fuck up and say, hold my beer, and do an even bigger job than that. There's no way. And they did. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Now, I say this, and I mean this. I want you guys to understand that every fiber in my being is telling you the truth here. I would rather buy a Dead or Alive 5 boob costume. I would rather invest money into Venus Vacation and buy a fucking toe ring for Hitomi or Ayane than ever interact with the Tekken store because of this debacle. I mean, I wasn't buying anything to begin with in the Tekken store, but this solidified it for me. I don't know how the Tekken Team is going to crawl out of this one. I actually have no idea. We are all Frame Whisperer now. I have barely seen, if you gave me 100 tweets, 99 of those tweets are people ripping into this bullshit. I don't know what's going to happen now. We are all Frame Whisperer. He was right from the beginning. All of this bullshit that we were running with, oh, we've got hope, we've got hope. He was on the money from the beginning and people slated for him, but he saw it. He had future sight. I don't know how he saw it, but the writing was on the...
Okay. Let me give you another info that you may not know, okay? The big content creators, because maybe now I am small, not like I used to be, because I speak about like specific people and conspiracy theories that all turned out to be true, but everyone thought I am crazy and basically just a Nazi. So the truth is, the big content creators, a lot of them, they got an incentive because Bandai Namco knew what they were doing with the heat system. And when we were beginning to stream, people from left and right told us that when we want to criticize the game or talk about the game, that we shall not use the word heat system, because then it would draw the negativity towards heat, and the people would pinpoint that as a problematic factor, and then the shill streamers all of a sudden all said, no, heat is not the problem, heat is not the problem, heat is not the problem. Yeah, it was the problem, obviously. You all know this now. But back then, maybe you didn't. They said, say the characters are heated. Don't say heat system. Say the characters are heated, in a heated state. I swear to God. I swear to God.
Towards him a long time ago. And now look at where we are. We are one season away from Tekken being turned into a gacha game.
Completely silent.
So what does that mean? Draw the right conclusions. That means they already knew that heat is the problem.
No one is doing anything. There was no typing, no mouse clicking, nothing. We saw one guy looking at the Google homepage, but he wasn't searching for anything. He was just staring blankly at the screen.
Now, like I said, it's your game. You want to make the game as stupid as possible. You want to choose the worst lineup of characters as much as you want. Go ahead. I can't tell you what to do with your game, but I can react this way. And I will 100% now. I never did this before, I was never planning on doing it, but you know what? You guys, you continuously take the piss. So
Another fun fact about Bandai Namco, because I did my homework extensively, because it was very important to me, all of this. Bandai Namco spent 40 million on a rebranded Sweet Baby Inc. Development team, okay? I don't know how many of you know Sweet Baby, but they were under fire for putting all this DEI dog shit into everything. So they rebranded themselves, and then Bandai Namco hired them for 40 million, and then they made a game, okay? And that game flopped. That game flopped because they were not living in the Corona echo chamber anymore, and people actually were able to express that they don't like this. And something with 12, I forgot what the name was. And then they had a lot of like, they lost a lot of money, okay? So first of all, they bought them for 40 million plus the development cost, plus they sold only like, what, 200 copies, 100 copies, like no one bought the game. It was really horse shit for them. They lost a lot of sources. And then we go further, and then we realize Bandai Namco is located in Japan. Japan has a specific culture of not firing employees. So they don't fire employees, they basically create a room and put Unknown 9 was the game, exactly. And then they put like all these people, they put them in a room, but they don't fire them. And they either don't give them anything to work, or they give them so much that they are overtaxed, so they may quit on themselves. Like that they quit on their own. Because they don't have this culture of firing people. If you don't know about this or you don't believe this, you can Google it, you can find out about it, you can ask AI on it. It's real, it's true, it happened with Bandai, there was a report on this, it's like all in the open. You can look about the 40 million that they spent on DEI with Sweet Baby Inc. You can look at the sales they did on Unknown 9. You can look it all up, all of it.
I'll be open and honest and say, I will actively discourage people to spend money on Tekken 8. If you've already got Tekken 8 and you've already got a community there, I understand why you'd stream it. We still manage to have a good time with this shit show, because if you see it as a party game, which is exactly what it is with these updates, then you're fine, you're good.
Are they just looking to destroy the franchise? No. You got to understand one thing about media, okay? Media at the beginning starts off good when it's not so big yet. Okay, especially back in the day where specific people didn't have a hegemony or a monopoly on everything, okay? So something gets big, while it is getting big, it is peak, like Assassin's Creed and shit. Like, a lot of eyes and the perception of the people is on that product. When the thing gets big enough, specific people buy the shares, and they do this throughout the entire industry. That's why the gaming industry as a whole goes into a direction where people oppose it. Then people say they do everything for money, but what if the people that buy the IP have all the money in the world? It's not about money anymore, it's about an agenda. To sell you an agenda. To put things that you would normally evade into your things that you like to consume. So you have to consume it regardless, or you will be basically pushed out of your hobbies. That's just reality. So they did the same with Tekken. And this is how it changes. And that's why startup companies create always cool games. That's why Chinese companies create cool games. It's because they don't have this BlackRock influence to tell them to put DEI into it, to put diversity into it, to put like all this agenda into it, to make games brain dead specifically. To make games brain dead, that's the most important part. Because when you create a brain dead game, you make the game easy. If you want to make the game sell in a way that the people can get milked, you need to give an incentive or give a positive feedback to people that are mediocre and punish people that are exceptional. And therefore they reduce the gap between exceptional people and normal people. And this is why the discrepancy between high level and mid level gets slower but surely closer and closer and closer, until the people that are too smart or too demanding get pushed out of it and only the drones remain. And now they tell you, go on Twitter and talk with all the drones. You bring up good arguments and they just bring up like weird sentences like Ijbol, no one's gonna read all of that and stuff like this. So it's doomed. You have no chance.
Should I buy Tekken 8? I always say to people, if you want. You know, I have my feelings about Tekken 8, but I try not to inform people's purchases too much. I will actively tell people, do not buy this game, because the developers are not listening. They're doing whatever they want. They have no regard for
Raven is
whatsoever, and I hope that we see Evo numbers drop.
I
hope
saw
that we
it,
see Tekken
right?
Tour numbers drop, and I hope that you guys finally learn your lesson. Although at this point, I don't think you will. I mean, as bad as Tekken 8 is right now, and it's pretty bad, at least our characters are not indulging in incest. I hope that DOA 7 and Virtua Fighter 6, and I was going to say Soul Calibur 7, but it's kind of under your umbrella as well, so I don't really have much hope for that. I hope that those 3D fighters absolutely plummet Tekken 8 into the ground, and you guys at that point learn your lesson going into Tekken 9. These changes are so asinine. Oh, by the way, the Tekken 8 feedback form. For what reason do we have a feedback form? You guys don't listen to anything. You don't listen to nothing. Literally zero. You've got your die-hard players and content creators saying that they're out. They're done. So one of two things is happening here. Either we are blind to the sheer wave of casual players that are playing this game, and it's so overwhelming that we are actually on the way out. We are witnessing the last remnants of the old community being sent away. And that's possible. I mean, that's the only thing that really makes sense. Or your core player base is all that's left, and you guys have got your heads so firmly up your backsides that you can't see that we asked you for basic things and you went right instead of left. Do you know what's hilarious about this whole situation? I was actually sitting there thinking to myself, and I was wondering, did the Tekken team use AI? But it turns out, following Mrs. Playstuff posting this, that she tested AI to see what AI would say to the Tekken community, or at least the Tekken developers, to see what we really want. And it turns out that AI knows how to do its job better than the Tekken team, because it clearly says here, what does the Tekken team want and how do we fix Tekken to make the community happy? Better balance, less oppressive top tiers, fewer guests for your life situations, stronger netcode and matchmaking consistency, less aggressive monetization, more meaningful defensive options, faster bug fixes. And it goes on. It goes on. Do you know what? There were so many things you could have done in this patch and you did all the opposite. 8 months. 8 months to a year. And this is what you produced.
Okay, so now back to the claim of me saying Michael Murray started with the localization team, and the localization team was DEI, etc. So, okay, this here is the localization team. This is about gender, accessibility, LGBTQ, biological sex, sexual orientation, gender expression. This is Bandai Namco, yeah, just so you know. And this is the so-called localization team where everyone says, yeah, Michael Murray started in the localization team. Now let's check AI if I am right. Yes, Michael Murray did start in the localization team for Tekken 4. multiple reliable sources, including Tekken Wiki, official event bios, Sun, Japan interview, blah blah blah. Okay. Does Michael Murray's family receive invitations from the presidents of the United States to inaugurations, etc.? I know this sounds a little bit crazy. Sorry about that. Something didn't go as planned. Again? No, there is no evidence that Michael Murray's family receives invitations from the US presidents. Okay. Like the AI says no. Now I go on his page. Another pic of my grandfather, Eisenhower. So much history here. My grandfather during the war. Birthday card to my grandfather from Eisenhower. Going through my dad's stuff and found some cool personalized picture from President Truman. And when I go down this rabbit hole further, the presidents of the United States also sent them like every year letters wishing them a happy Christmas, and when there is a new president getting elected, then they get invited to the inauguration. You find that normal? You think that's normal? Okay, let's go down further the rabbit hole, because I am obviously only crazy. That's a lie. Among some American, that's a lie. That's a lie. Because last time I asked him, he said the exact opposite. I have the screenshot, I could bring it up. Now it says yes. Yes, the name Murray has been used by, particularly as a popular given name. So now all of a sudden it's different. So you thought Michael Murray is a real name, MM, Michael Murray. Have you ever seen that guy's face? Like, is that person, like, can you tell by his face where he's from? Not that it's a problem that he's Jewish. I'm just bringing it up because he's coming from BlackRock. Now we go further. How much further can I go now? That's the question without getting banned. Let me think about this, how I can do this without getting banned. I give up. I think this is enough. Now you know I'm not just saying things out of my ass. The last thing that I'm gonna just tell you is try to find out anything about Michael Murray before he is magically graduating from university and starts instantly of Bandai Namco. Try to find anything, like anything. That person just does not exist. He does not exist. Just so you know, he literally doesn't exist.
8 months to a year, and this is what you produced. And in your patch notes, it says that we're going to roll out changes periodically and slowly, as if we don't need changes now, as if we didn't need to turn on the consoles and say, wow, these are some awesome changes, awesome balance adjustments, really good system changes. No, you want to roll it out over the year? For what reason? Who is asking you to roll it out over the year? 8 months to a year. You know these modders that are very passionate about your game, it takes them about 8 hours to produce better shit than this. Now you tell me, people that are going to say that we're overreacting, does this look like back to basics to you? Is this what back to basics looks like? Tekken developers, are you playing your game? Are you trying to copy NRS? Are we in an arms race for stupidity against NRS or something here? Wait, what am I looking at? I'll be honest with you guys. This feels like a hate crime. This feels like a hate crime. I am shocked and bamboozled. My man didn't even have the decency to clean the streaks, the shit streaks, off of the toilet before dumping Tekken 8 in there. I mean, my god. This is how people feel about your product. So not only have we got a year of this crap that the Tekken team has given us, but we also have a lineup of characters that nobody really cares about. Let's just be honest here.
The only community Michael Murray has ever virtue signalized towards, you can check it on his Twitter, is the LGBTQ community, by the way. In case you didn't know this, there is only one tweet about a community in a sub community in our community, and it was about LGBTQ. And since he is coming from DEI, and we have seen what he likes, particularly on Twitter when it was able to be perceived back in the day, we know where specific things lie. And he was saying, hey, LGBTQ, we see you, etc. Why do you think so many people got banned for saying just like the simplest critique? By just playing a tournament, you couldn't if you said there's 2 genders. It was really the truth. It felt like you are in some sort of observation state where every thought you had needs to be politically correct. And it comes from these people, BlackRock.
Is what we have to look
What
forward
did he
to.
like? Yeah, he just liked and commentated on some transgender OnlyFans people, and oh my god, you are so cute and hot and all this shit. We have the screenshots.
All the Kunimitsu mains in the comment section, please stand up. Please stand up. I'm curious. Please let me know how excited you are for Kunimitsu. I mean, we have
so what
no
he
hype
benefits
characters.
when he ruined the game, the benefit is that people that have an hegemony on every franchise want to have a specific agenda. They don't want specific people or people of high intelligence to be involved in the community because they can't get milked. He destroys the game for the people with a brain, so only the people that have a drone type of consumer behavior remain. Therefore, changing the demographic of the old community for a new demographic. This is for you maybe destroying the game, but for him it's like saving it.
Look forward to. We have no good balance changes to look forward to, and they didn't even bother updating any other areas of the game that would have been meaningful, like team battle. Just a simple mode like that would have gone a long way. Okay, cool, they fucked up the game, but we can have some fun here. We are scraping here. Now, luckily for me, I am not married to Tekken 8 like some other people. I don't even mean that as an insult. Some people have built their YouTube channels around Tekken, and I understand the pain that they feel. I get it. I watched your videos. I saw your tweets. I saw your live reactions. I understand the pain you feel. Luckily for me, my channel is not reliant on that. And I knew a long time ago, when I first started the channel of doing MK and Soul Calibur, because I didn't really like Soul Calibur 6 very much, and I was a big fan of Soul Calibur 5. I knew back then, they're going to release games I don't like. I cannot marry myself to one game. I got to play loads of different games, get involved in other places, and that's what I did. Now then, if everyone's like, oh Mike, go play another game.
Medusa,
stop
was there ever
bitching."
a time where you actually wanted to be a serious competitor? There was a time, but it started of me talking in Corona about the vaccinations and stuff, and then I started to get hate. And then it started off when I was saying that somehow something is unnatural with this LGBTQ movement. I was criticizing it, and I was branded a homophobe. And then it went on and on. I got attacked continuously, and every time I defended myself, or even when I started to like clap back, what they did was always just report my retaliation and use their infrastructure to boost it. And Fergus post me when I say the F word to one of my best friends, and then they get me cancelled every fucking 2 weeks, bro. Every 2 weeks, bro, I was getting attacked for like 3 years consistently, but I never stopped like speaking the truth. And then eventually I come down towards this rabbit hole with specific people. I talked about it, I said what's going on, and then they said I'm a Nazi. So I have every title you can imagine. I'm a homophobe, I am basically racist, I am a Nazi, I am a right-wing grifter, I am... I don't know what misogynist, I think also, the everything. So yeah, there was a time where I wanted to compete, but not anymore. What's the point?
If you don't like it, don't play it. I have been playing another game actually. I have been playing another game. You see that right there? 68 hours puts that 143 Pokemon. You think I'm joking? I'm not married to Tekken, okay? I'm just here to give you the facts. I'm not here to lie to you. I'm not paid by Bandai Namco. I'm not married to Tekken. I don't need to lie to you. But I will tell you that my national dex, okay, is sitting at 186 right now. And my main dex, my Kanto dex is at 144. So your boy's been putting in the work, okay? Your boy's been putting in the work. Yes, we play other games, okay? We enjoy other games. This is a fun fighting game. This is satisfying. Do you know what's satisfying? Love me the combo structure in it. Oh yeah, that felt good. That wasn't even the right combo, but you know what? That product into the mud? Drive it into the mud. Drive it as far into the abyss as you possibly can. Just give us a Tekken collection and we'll be on our way. We'll be on our way. None of this bad PR, none of this bad marketing for the game, none of these YouTubers on here crashing out. Give us our old games, we're out. Because you clearly can't make a new one. You had clear directives and you fucked it up again.
What I think, but that's normal here.
I'll be right back.
+4. Nah.
But like I said, you are the abusive girlfriend, and we are the idiots that keep on getting back into bed with you and snuggling up and then wondering why we woke up in the morning with a black eye and we're like, damn, I don't remember those cuts being around my penis. Guys, you know what Law needed? Law needed more buffs. Law needed blue sparks. Are we high? This is awful. This is awful. Now, I'm going to say this to everyone, because outside of a few people, a very minuscule amount of people that have their heads up their asses, we can all unanimously agree that not only was this underwhelming, but they went in the other direction again. They didn't really follow what we were looking for. There's only one way to teach these guys a lesson. Now, if you've already got the game and you're already streaming it, it's really not a big deal, it's whatever. But these guys are making money on the Tekken shop. That's why they're continuously updating it. Now, I don't know how much of a dent that we can make, but stop buying their stuff. Stop interacting with the Tekken store. That's where they're siphoning money from people. Don't buy their season pass. If you've got a favorite character in that lineup, buy that character. If you're one of those people that likes Kunimitsu, Bob, and the bloody kangaroo, fine, whatever. But if there's going to be some sort of change here, not interacting with the Tekken store is probably the best way to go. If you've already got the game and you're already playing it, they already got your money. It's not going to change anything. If anything, playing the game and going on live stream and telling everybody how much of a shit show it is probably doing them a disservice. So I'd encourage people to do that. But we got to give them the same energy that we gave to NRS. I don't know what they are smoking over there. Them man sat at their computers probably smiling, thinking, yeah, we nailed it this time. Murray, I need you to look at the screen right now. Who in their right mind thought this was a good idea? Who in their right mind thought this was a good idea? Now getting up against Paul is going to turn into a nightmare. Why would you do that? For what reason? Did anybody complain about that move from Paul? I believe it's backsway 1. Why? Why? What is wrong with you guys? Are you not playing your own game? You don't understand it. Look at this nonsense. What were you smoking? Why? I would love to know that animation is so dumb. So dumb. Completely unnecessary. Well done for once again sticking your foot right in your mouth. Unnecessary. Didn't need to happen. You literally walked into oncoming traffic and now you're going to be surprised when the community's blaming you on Twitter again. Why? Why? You don't listen. Oh, get this. This move, when you mash it, it becomes charged. So you can literally just mash this. You can mash that shit. +4. What?
Big Nose is happy.
At the DOA
Big Nose activated.
Or
fucking
Soul
piece of
Calibur
shit.
Side of it, or
Better
NRS,
that you leave the
or
fucking game,
Capcom
you
or Sega. Did
asshole.
someone infiltrate the offices to bring you guys down from the inside? There's no way that you guys have been developing this game for this long and this is what you're doing. Look how long this combo goes on.
I think
for,
we
okay?
need to
were
do an
asking
early
for more
life with Big
interaction.
Nose also.
Look how long the combo
There's
goes
a
on.
little
This is
bit
exactly what I want
sus.
in a player
He
fighting,
never
to
gets
just sit there,
banned.
specifically Tekken, to just
He
sit
has a
there
big
and
nose.
watch myself in the air being spun around like a Beyblade. So much fun, 116 damage. Bravo, Bandai Namco. You had a year. You had one whole year and this is what you came up with. Incredible. Absolutely flabbergasted at this display, at this performance. You've hit a new low. What is this ugly new move? Like, you're gonna add new moves into the game. We told you don't add new moves into the game. There's already too many problems, and you add ugly ass moves into the game. Like, what is this? I actually don't know what she's about to do here. I haven't seen this clip. She can side switch, so she has the option of the wall pressure, or on this stage, I guess, balcony break, and I guess any other stage that has, sorry, a floor break. And then Namco, what are we doing?
Okay.
You hate.
This is enough. Now we should maybe watch someone else. Sesujin, I don't like this person. I think it's a waste of time. Let's see if we have anything interesting here. You wanna see FDX last video? We already watched the main man. Can you make TMM imitation? Yeah, you strike me as one of those peoples that has a very good mechanical skill on the game, can backdash very fast into an perfect electric, but is that a better game? I'm not perfectly inclined to believe that. I think lateral movement is much more interesting, and now in Tekken 8, it has the best graphics it's ever had, it's 5 times better than Tekken 7, and characters have now attacks that make them character unique. Is that good? Sploosh! Eat my fucking cock! Give me my man pussy. Better? Maybe now it's 8 out of 10?
Alright, let's talk about Season 3. You probably have heard a lot about it by now. The internet is aflame as usual. Let me give you my quick TLDR, and then I want to talk about how I want to talk about Season 3. I want to talk about what was the sales pitch for Season 3. I want to talk about what was the vision, like what, based on how they wrote about the changes and how they talked about what they did, what was the vision that they had in mind, and what did we get. But first, I'll give you the summary that I gave Twitter. By the way, YouTube, if you prefer to listen to this video without the background music, we've prepared a separate audio track for that using the YouTube language feature. So you can go to the gear below and select the other English audio track, and that one will just have no background music.
Oh, that is interesting.
Same exact video, though. If you do use that feature, let me know in the comments. I love getting feedback on if you prefer listening with or without music, if the volume is too high, things like that. Tekken 8 Patch 3.0 is not a small step in the right direction, but many steps in vastly different directions. Some characters were nerfed in solid ways that make a lot of sense. Anna's counter hit elbow, and down back 4 elbow, the low. Nina's back 2-2-2, Steve's armor, and Yoshi's 1-1. A lot of changes that make a lot of sense. People have been talking about them for a long time. Other characters got slaps on the wrist or were only buffed.
Did you guys enjoy the conspiracy parts?
Sometimes weaknesses were
I didn't do one of those in a long
this
time.
Contradicts the statement they made of focusing on strengths, weakness, and identity. The only consistent thing across the entire patch was a focus on making things easier. Unique tech and conversions were removed, offense was streamlined, and a lot of execution checks were just completely removed. Like, things were straight up made easier, and it was a key word they used over and over again in the patch notes. According to this patch, situational awareness is not something that should be heavily rewarded, and cool things keep getting removed or simplified. Generally, the vibes are down, and I'm personally pretty confused by the direction of the game. One thing I want to continue is somebody said, just say the patch is bad, Fee, it's not that hard. And this is my take. I want to play it and watch pros play it before jumping to conclusions. I don't think I'm smart enough to read the patch notes and immediately predict every future and every gameplay thing. I don't know enough about character-specific options unless I see it happen and see the character experts do it. So I didn't want to jump to conclusions. But my initial reaction is that it seems pretty bad with some good stuff in there. I would like to see more of the good things represented across the cast and systems, but a lot of it is genuinely confusing to me. Lastly, I want to say that I think the actual quality of the game is not substantially better or worse than Season 2 after the emergency patches. This is basically the same game, but the biggest loss is, I think, faith in the developers to make meaningful changes. That's my TLDR take. Let's get to the meat of this thing, huh? What was the sales pitch? Back to basics. All right, we were sold adjustments that respect each character's concepts, strengths, and weaknesses while preventing excessive performance gaps between characters. So some people interpreted Back to Basics as going to before Tekken 8. Because of this quote I just read to you, I never saw it that way. I didn't think they would remove heat. I didn't think they would completely rework the movement, although I wish they would. I wish they would buff movement. It was clear they had a vision with Tekken 8, and to me, in my mind, it was clear that Season 2 was the misstep. Season 2 is when a lot of the problematic things came out, like extreme plus frames, homing, advancing moves that led into mix-ups, and a lot of like why not buttons that why wouldn't you just press this? It makes too much sense. You're almost trolling if you don't use these buttons. So to me, before Season 2 dropped, Season 1 was showing a lot of movement in a direction of an aggressive modern Tekken that is easier, but still had a lot of cool interactions play out, still rewarded a lot of Tekken skill, and I thought the refinement would happen from there. So when Season 3 was sold on the idea of a refinement, I thought that's where they would go. That's what Back to Basics meant to me. A lot of people on the internet were talking about it in different ways. That was my take. when the patch actually came out, we got to get a sneak preview into their vision. And this is where we can talk about a lot of the patch changes. I'll start quickly about the good changes because there's a lot of criticism I have. But I think the nerfs to Ana, Asuka, and Bryan were pretty precise. I think that I was very vocal about Asuka's biggest offender to me being her charge move, giving her access to damage and pressure when she's supposed to be a character that relies on parries and defensive techniques. Something interesting too is in the actual patch notes, they talk about the character's design or what their vision is. Asuka is a character who excels at mind games using reversal and status techniques, leveraging cancels and delays to keep the opponent guessing. Okay, so that
Okay, Asuka is a character that excels at mind games using basically defensive tools and offensively puts you in a 50-50. So she is defensively sound and offensively oppressive. Yeah, that's the problem with the game.
That's their vision for Asuka. So when they added a new move, it allows her to cancel and, you know, keep them guessing so they run into a counter hit or a parry. They laid out a clear vision, which I can respect. Why does this move have to have particular
Why can't you
sidestep
respect
left
it?
traction in that case? You know what I mean? They did some precise nerfs to her offense, but also some compensation.
I can
buffs
also
that
have a
don't
clear
make too much
vision of
sense.
giving a character a
There were also
nuke.
precise Asuka and Bryan nerfs.
Is that
A lot of the
respectable?
complaints people had for a while were targeted. It's a bit rough that it was allowed to last for the entirety of Season 2, but regardless, they are good changes, and I think that's important to point out. The other thing I actually thought was decent about the patch was that for some of the characters' new moves, they were explicitly designed in a way that wouldn't warp gameplay. So Fakumram, for example, got up forward 3+4, which is a quick tornado option. One of the pain points for Fakumram, especially for newer players, is being consistent with his combos. So this move was basically set up just to make his combo game a little more stable.
Easier.
And if it doesn't do more damage than the optimal routes, then isn't that a pretty good change? A combo extension that works pretty well for newer players and intermediates, but doesn't give the reward
play a little
unless you learn the hard execution ones. I think that type of change is beneficial. Shaheen had a similar change with getting a one-hit combo button conversion. And I think in terms of making the game easier, but not more rewarding, I think that's fine. I think that's actually pretty cool for onboarding newer players. Those are the main ones I can think of, though. There were a lot of misguided changes. Off the top of my head right away are the Hwoarang ones. The Hwoarang changes that stood out to me were the nerfs, because I think pretty much everybody should have gotten nerfed since Season 2. They made back 1, his like evasive spin punch, -15, so now it's launch punishable by most of the cast. And they made his backlash, the power crush from right foot forward stance, have higher whiff recovery. And that's been a big complaint for a long time. One of the biggest skill checks is being able to launch that from Hwoarang. They made it easier. But they didn't at all touch his homing advancing low or his looping stance option, right flamingo 4-3. So now I'm really confused, because what that says to me is that their vision is they want these long range homing moves to stay. They want these looping mix-ups to stay. And was that not the issue that led to the tanking Steam reviews at the launch of Season 2? That's where I'm confused. And then aside from that, nerfs like this to Fang's baby tantrum, down back 2-2-2, they made it more punishable and less rewarding on hit, but this move was
Bro, Season 2 Kazuya gameplay in a nutshell. Watch, please. Season 3, I mean.
not really a big enough issue, if you ask me. Like, it wasn't useless and it wasn't bad, but at a high level, you don't really see Fang players using this. So it almost feels like someone on the dev team was getting hit by this and was getting upset by it. It reminds me of Season 2, where they nerfed Dragunov's QCB2, the backsway elbow. It was a high-risk, high-reward option that was pretty hype, and they removed the tornado launch from it. It almost feels like somebody on the dev team was getting abused by that move, and it really bothered them. And by the way, I'm about to talk about a lot of problematic things, and if I mention a character that you play, I challenge you to not feel attacked. It's not about advocating for some characters to be bad or things like that, but for calling out flaws in the game design, okay? So hold back an emotional response and try and take it from the perspective of somebody who might play against your character. The biggest problem with this patch is amidst the sprinkling of good changes and like pinpoint precision changes that make sense, They continued to make missteps that repeated the mistakes of Season 2. Let me take 1 second to show you what I mean. This is a document I put together showing the Season 2 changes. These are quotes from Nakatsu during an interview before Season 2. He said, in terms of strategy, I feel we weren't able to balance the defensive aspects that well. That's why for Season 2, we like to focus on defense in terms of the lateral aspects of a 3D fighting game and the ease of defending when being attacked. And this was a big point of controversy after the fact, because in Season 2's launch, they talked about a better sidestep, and the system does reflect that. Sidestepping is vastly improved from Season 1. However, what they didn't talk about is almost every character gained tools to mix up defensive opponents more easily, which directly contradicts the whole idea of the ease of defending when being attacked. In season, look at this. Asuka lacked sufficient tools to apply offensive pressure against defensive opponents. Season 2 strengthened follow-up options to make it easier to attack opponents moving sideways, tracking against leftward movement, making mix-ups harder to distinguish. These changes are seen throughout the cast in Season 2 last year. Here's a big one. Fang had few moves that could track opponents sidestepping to the left. To address this weakness, forward 4 has been adjusted to include tracking. The startup speed of one of his lows has been increased, making it easier to catch opponents. Hwoarang struggled to deal with opponents' lateral movement, so they gave him a low homing attack. The list goes on and on and on, and the most appalling one to me, I'll just show you two more ones that were really appalling to me. Lars. When opponents adapted and countered his options, it became more difficult than expected to use his stances. So they gave him more frame advantage. And this one, Shaheen's toolkit was somewhat technical, making him difficult to use effectively. This statement was mind-boggling. Shaheen had technical combos, and doing a quick slide is maybe a bit of a skill to learn. But I don't think Shaheen is a technical character outside of those things. So they gave him a new low that also evades highs and gives frame advantage. Season 2 did a lot of these things to make the game easier, to give people more coverage, and in general to make attacking better and make defending harder. So when we look at the problematic changes of Season 3, the list goes on and on and on. But here's a big one. Now, I know the Lee mains are going to be really vocal about this, but again, I need you to remove the emotional response and think about this. 1+2 goes into Hitman's stance, right? And it's a plus on block homing mid, which is normally crazy, but because the stance he's in has defensive counterplay, it was like, fine. You could play sidestep right duck to get around almost every option here. Now, in Season 3, they made Lee's forward 2 track sidestep right, and it's a mid. So now if you use sidestep right duck, Lee can consistently track you with this option. And a lot of Lee mains are already saying, oh, it's a mid-high. I risk my life to call this out. You don't have to do the high. You don't have to do the high. Just do the mid, track him. They stop stepping.
Just don't do the high,
mix up again. And if you don't want to mix them, you can just slide again. By the way, slide now goes into Hitman's stance, where he can frame trap with this option.
I risk my life to keep fucking you after a homing counter hit launching +2 on block mid.
Weakness Lee had that I don't think really strong Lee mains were really complaining about. He didn't really need this. In a similar sense, Jack got this Gigas move from Tekken
because
7,
I'm too lazy to hit confirm it.
His follow-up low poke after this hits you on block. So it's like a guaranteed mix-up. Right? And Jack already has a lot of things that would de-incentivize you from trying to hit him right away. It's a slower move, right? But he has the Gamma Howl Flex, like the muscle armor that King has. He has a super fast counter hit forward too. So there's a lot of reasons you wouldn't just swing at Jack. And now that he has this move, once he gets you to stop swinging, he can get a forced mix-up on you. Is it the end of the world in terms of power level? No. But is it a healthy design that shows a shift away from the Season 2 design? No. I have more changes I want to show along these lines, but let me just also show you this new floor break on counter hit. On Kazuya's down back 2, there's this new bounce animation, and tons of characters have this added to their movesets. What this is if you get this bounce animation over an exploding floor, it triggers the floor hazard. So now you get a full combo. This is super game warping. This is not like a trivial change, especially on stages like this with so many floor blasts. This is a huge shifting of power across the board. And I am not sure if enough consideration was made to see how this behaves between the interactions across the cast. Tons of characters got this change. Jack has it off his forward 1, for example. It's all
because this is on counter hit.
Probably do a video covering like ways you'll have to fight against.
I think there is a few characters that get this
like
on normal hits, but I'm not sure.
Look at the patch notes for their own character, but a general video maybe of like what you can expect to get hit by and defend against, maybe in the
But
work.
it's too
Okay,
much.
We talked about the floor breaks on counter hit, but this
Like
is
Jack
another
is normal, yeah.
big thing that I think stands out across the whole patch is the phrase easier appears 52 times in the patch notes. And in 36 of those cases, it was making offense easier or streamlining it, and the word weakness only appears twice. So this is a consistent theme across the entire patch notes, but a big one
Yeah, this is interesting because also Trump appears in the Epstein files 500 times more than Harry Potter in the entirety of the Harry Potter books. Just so you know, in case you wondered.
want to point out that is really, I think, frustrating for everybody involved are the Leo changes. So for those who don't know, high-level Leo players are actually pretty technical, and it's one of the enjoyment points of playing the character. For example, when this counter hits, you can pick that up for a combo, even though Jin is super far away. Leo has to do either deep dash instant while standing 3. I missed it there, so I didn't get a float. Or in this game, I think Leo can do deep run forward 4 to pick up. And this was a common thing across a lot of Leo's counter hit launchers. But now they changed Leo's counter hits to give a different knockdown. So now Leo doesn't even have to work to get a follow-up here. They just fall down
Harry
right in front
Potter
of
is
you.
like
And this isn't
all
on
the
just
Harry
that
Potter
move,
books,
it's also on QCF 2-1.
right? All of them.
So they actively
Every single
removed a
page
point
of
enjoyment
every
for the
single
high-level
Harry
players
Potter book ever
just
made.
to make it easier for other players. And the thing is, usually the cool part of a fighting game
Because
is
the
kind of
3
this
million
learning
files are
progression,
also
right? You have
pictures.
the hard things, and when you can't do the hard things yet, you do a level of progression to get there, right? There's no immediate reward, but that's what makes the game kind of fun. It's the same reason why like Dark Souls is fun for people. People enjoy the progression of failing and slowly getting better, right? They also did a quality of life change where down forward 2+3 it will now always pick up with while standing 3, as far as I know. They changed the ranges and the knockdown to make this consistent. But part of the recognition of playing a counter hit character is recognizing, hey, am I at the spacing where this is going to give me the follow-up? They've also removed that little bit of situational awareness. And yeah, look, even in the patch notes, it says that Leo is a technical character. Like, they acknowledge that that's part of Leo's identity. So why did they remove a bunch of the technical follow-ups? It really does not make much sense to me. Like, they said that they wanted to work with identity, strengths, and weaknesses, when in practice, they decided to continue to make characters easier. And
So if I was Ayorichi now, I would drop Leo, because the only thing that separated his Leo from other Leos, apart from his defensive playstyle, was his optimization with execution. Now he doesn't need it.
Again, my best guess is
Medusa, you played Souls games? If not, why not play on stream? I already played Souls games on stream. We finished Elden Ring, all the DLCs, Dark Souls 3, all the DLCs. We already did.
About
was good
performance
streams.
between characters. Shaheen used to do, here's a really whack combo, but after tornadoes, he would do full crouch down forward too. And if you were super technical at the game, like AK or low high, you could do cancels into sneak, cancel into crouch, and then do full crouch down forward 2. It was really tight because you have to go from down back to down forward 2 on a nice timing. Now, Shaheen can do this button from the sneak stance. So from this stance, if he hits down forward 2, he now does this. So the cancel into crouch is no longer needed. So now everybody has access to this combo that used to be execution gated. And that makes very little sense to me, because the whole reward of doing this combo isn't just the visual appeal of it, it isn't just the damage, it's nailing the execution in an intense match after doing tons of practice to get it. That seems to be completely gone with this type of change. This is the type of easier they made the game. It's not upping the ease of entry or onboarding. It is lowering the ceiling so everybody can touch
Those
it.
streams,
And that feels
I don't think so.
very rough to me. It's
Got
not something I
banned
like
too
at
many
all.
times.
It's a mistake from Season 2, and it was continued in Season 3. Anyways, back to the Twitter clips. Here is a clip from Whale in EU. Said, Lars has
Actually,
trouble
let me
getting in-
apply for Twitch partner while we're at it. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I can't be asked.
So we improved his approach tools. This is his new dynamic entry 1, or 1+2, which was made -1 on block, and as you can see, Deviljin cannot defensively step against Lars's offense.
Yeah, not after this stream.
When he does this
I'm
option.
lucky if I don't get banned.
Orbital also evades jabs after. I did not see that entire clip. Also, dynamic entry 1-2 tracks the sidesteps in neutral. And there's a homing mid. So Lars is supposed to, by design, be able to get in for free, right? Run a mix-up if you try to challenge with the jab there. You can't sidestep it in either direction. If he does read a jab retaliation, his orbital now jumps over it. And if you try to sidestep preemptively to prevent that, dynamic entry 1-2
You have like 400 concurrent.
Sidewalk, dynamic entry 3 covers that.
Yeah, but it's cool to be like the dark horse. No
stance that is
partner, but more views than everyone.
About season 2 was that it felt like a casino game where you just had to guess, where offense was overwhelming. Improving the approach tools does not feel like a correction of that decision. It almost makes it seem like the phrase back to basics was back to season 2. It doesn't check out with where most of the Tekken fan base seem to be thinking. And the Tekken fan base has a ton of different opinions, but at the very least, the rejection of season 2 seemed like a point of common interest. And while we're talking about that type of offense, Law has a new move, up back 1+2, which is a homing high. It's +1 on block. But what's surprising about this move is he could do it from slide. So from the slide step, full crouch, he could do this. And it wall splats. So now, at the wall, slide would catch side steps, right? But you would lose the wall position sometimes. Other times you would keep the wall position. Now he can just go for a homing high with up back from crouch. Wow, apparently I'm the target audience. I can't even input that. With this, it's plus, and then he can continue to run his offense. Remember, he has 1-1-1. So that +1 actually really matters. And if you're down jabbing against Law, he has sidestep 1+2. Or even what? Sidestep 2? Sidestep 2 to dodge the down jab and wall splat you anyways. It's a very bizarre move choice to add when the idea of increasing defensive options has been floated before. Once again, if you look back at Season 2, they said the ease of defending when being tacked is something that wanted to be fixed. They missed the mark on that, and in Season 3, they continue to miss the mark on that. So I am pretty confused what the direction is. Again, keeping in mind the context that there were legitimately good changes weakening some characters' offense. I get the sense that when they said preventing excessive performance gaps between characters, that may have been the top priority, right? They think about concept, strengths, weaknesses, identity, but the biggest priority seems to be preventing these perceived performance gaps, which is why you see a lot of nerfs for Anna, Asuka, and Brian, the tournament heavy hitters, but not a lot of nerfs and even some buffs on characters we just haven't seen that are going to push them completely over the edge, in my opinion. And while we're on Law, his heat regeneration still exists. They cut the values in half, so he doesn't get as much back, but he's still regenning heat, which is a mechanic that I think most people are not a fan of. This takes me pretty cleanly into the next point about untouched Season 2 designs. One of the biggest gripes I've had with Season 2, and Lydia is not the main offender of this, but she is a huge problem with it. QCF4 is a homing high that goes into stance and gives a guaranteed follow-up, right? Which heat engages and leads to more stance pressure. And the complementary moves are forward, forward 2, and back 1. So the design of homing high and advancing mid from ranges where you cannot backdash is a big Season 2 problem. And even though Anna did get nerfed, she no longer has this counter hit 2 jab or counter hit down back 4 into the elbow, she still has this long range mix-up. The knockdown situation was nerfed, sure, but the idea that in neutral you are considering a big linear power mid versus a big homing power high is alarming that it was able to stay here. And then there's still some stance looping issues with Leo in particular, but I don't want to harp too much on the exact same character. It just doesn't feel like there was a lot of
when you reach God with a 2 with Kazuya, you will be God with Alisa.
Yeah,
oh,
the
really?
vision in general is just confusing, right? But I think this again speaks to the whole power level thing. So this is Momodog, one of the most technical Devil Jin players in the world, and he is showing the change to Devil Jin's Hell Sweep. So that did 52 damage.
I wonder if he will ever show me and show Planted Medusa, one of the most cracked Kazuyas in the world with the best execution.
Into spike,
probably
with
not.
66 damage before the spike, and then a guaranteed steel pedal. So that's an over 70 damage combo off of a launching Hell Sweep. Even Momodog, who is a big Devil Jin fan, is saying we should probably not buff this dumb low, the best low in the game. Hwoarang main Prophet, also a prominent tournament organizer, was talking about how it's a shame they didn't nerf Hwoarang's advancing low into stance, or the homing low crush wall splat, heat engager, the right foot forward, down forward 3. Instead, they focused on the moves that a lot of early and intermediate players were complaining about. I'm gonna be honest, I don't whiff punch backlash, but that's a skill issue for me. Making that easier is less interesting to me than getting rid of the oppressive stuff that affects all skill levels, even at the very top. Whale also highlights that despite the Lydia nerfs, she still does a ton of damage, and Sesujin, another Lydia main, was also saying that she's debatably top 5, and if you don't see it, you might
Medusa, with the current state of the game and the amount of execution you have, just start a brain surgeon, bro. It's practically same skill, but it's this game's more cortisol.
Because I want to see what the character experts are coming up with. And yeah, this looks pretty scary. Even though they made changes to Lydia where she has to spend and consume
cortisol
stacks
gaming
to have a bit more of a, I guess, tactical decision-making part to her game, she's still doing.
Oh, you need to take GHKCU and Reta to survive this game.
Stance easier to go into.
You need to take peptides.
Shaheen can now wave dash.
Medusa, look at the tweets.
A slide out of the wave dash.
Okay.
Yeah. And to add to the whole wanting to prevent performance gaps point, there are so many characters that
I know, yeah, I know already. You can do heat smash into heat smash. We already saw this at the beginning of the stream.
got like fully buffed with no nerfs at all. Either there were no nerfs,
TRT, magnesium.
I don't think make up for how many buffs there were.
Testosterone, Anava.
The power level just seems so high in general.
Clenbuterol.
King is a good example of this, where he did receive a nerf to the tracking on his counter hit down forward 2.
No, it's
but you'll understand that if you are placing it as a counter hit button, the sidestep would not.
Have you ever played Street Fighter?
Place, right, because of Hurtbox expansion.
I am not really.
Concept, you can check out my video on sidestep.
I'm not really a big fighting game fan. You have to understand.
In exchange,
I just liked Kazuya.
Throw, and they allow him to do an evasive sidestep.
I'm not a fighting
game Jaguar sprint. So usually against Jaguar sprint, you could, if a king is just going to keep running at you, you can try to mitigate the mix-up by swinging at him or swinging.
I enjoy like Resident Evil way more than
sidestep
like fighting games
off of the Jaguar sprint. And there hasn't been any adjustment.
Yeah, but Devil Jin is kind of like Kaz.
The mix-up situation was after quite alarming. And I know king mains don't like being picked on, so there's also a huge amount of buffs to Victor with no nerfs at all. Victor's a really frustrating character for newer players to fight against because he has so much oppressive looping stance pressure. They even say it in the patch notes that he's a character who excels at.
That's why I never played anyone else. I always just play Kazuya, if you notice.
Right, which is his weaker side.
Just don't like
and
anything.
It can transition into stance, and it can be held down and charged for more plus frames, and to become a counter hit launcher.
But to be fair,
they also made some of his stance.
To be fair, I played more characters in Tekken 7, but in Tekken 8, the only character that I feel satisfaction with is Kazuya. I can't play Devil Jin. There's really no incentive. I don't like his gameplay. It's just hell sweep. Heihachi feels so carried. I don't really also care. But when I play Kazuya and I win, I still feel a sense of gratification, if you know. That sense of gratification with these other AI-generated characters, I just don't feel it.
Cancel options faster, so they're harder.
But why bind your whole Twitch stream to Tekken? Maybe go the Ares route. Bro, you know, when I play different games, I can get maybe 130 views on Twitch and 100 on YouTube. Maybe it's not that low, but like, I don't know, I kinda gave up on everything. After doing these conspiracy streams and all this shit, I lost just way too many people. I have almost no subs. Look at my sub count, it's really dog shit. And I just do this for fun now, and it's over. Like, really, there's no point anymore. The Meduse is done, kinda.
To react to. I truly do not
Been
understand
cancelled
how
too many
these
times.
changes made it through. Even compared to Season 1, Victor is more annoying to fight against now. And if we go by the logic of what was said for Season 2, this still doesn't make sense. We know Season 2 didn't end up being a defensive patch, but the vision makes no sense to me. How are they making such good changes to some characters and making other characters worse? It makes me think it has to be that they're laser focused on keeping as many characters within the same performance range, keeping the game balanced. And my take on that is a balanced game is not necessarily a fun game. I think we're going to see that come to fruition with this version of the game. Again, I don't want to get too granular into the character changes. I just wanted to give as many like concrete examples as I could. But yeah, in general, the vision is just so confusing. Like, for example, they talked about Fang having a wide range of grounded options, strong countermeasures, and evasive movement. When I see grounded options, that usually means from like a standing position, right? If they say stances, they use the word stances. We saw that with Victor and a few other characters. But here they said Fang is characterized by a wide range of grounded options, which I assume to mean neutral, right? With that in mind, they made adjustments by buffing Shifting Clouds and giving him more entrances into Shifting Clouds. It was like they acknowledged openly that his strength was neutral, so they buffed his stances. That is a very confusing statement to me. One of the changes that I thought at first was a decent change, but turned out to maybe be not enough, was Nina's back 222. They changed it so the third hit no longer counter hit launches, which is good. If you watch the Arslan Ash versus Hisham mirror match, there were points in the match where they would just start swinging and just land the counter hit launch because they were counting on the other person ducking and trying to take control back.
Are there any
from the
chances
match.
that they
But
can
after
fire
seeing,
Murray on?
posts from
I
Nina
don't
mains,
think
like
so.
Victim of Ritual, he pointed out that there are things that are still unaddressed, like back 222 being fully hit confirmable. If the first hit is a pink spark, I have time to see that and then rip the third hit only in that case, and it'll still be a 3-hit combo. Obviously, if you fully delay it, you don't get that, but there's plenty of time during the first 2 hits to make that hit confirm, and that was left untouched. In my mind specifically, the fact that it was nerfed at all, I see as an upside compared to the characters that have been, like, completely buffed. And as if that doesn't hammer the point home enough, yeah, Ao Richie, like, one of the premier Leos of the world, even is upset about this, and it was in response to my tweet listing out the buffs and nerfs, and you'll see that almost everything is a buff except the removal of the heat dash pickup, which is kind of a character specific
I still have no idea why whole DEI shit
cool.
exists.
Like, I'm not a Leo fan, but
Okay, I will explain this because I like these topics. The reason why DEI exists is because when you don't like the LGBTQ movement, you can just look away, for example, and try to avoid it. But if the people in power of the world that own everything have an interest of you being subjected to it and accepting it, then they would need to implement DEI into every entertainment that you can come across. So it's like being ill as a child, not wanting to take the pill, but your mother puts your pill into your favorite sandwich and then you eat it like on the side with it. So you will basically they inject everything, like your favorite Netflix show, your favorite TV show, your favorite video game, and then they implement it into it, and if you want to evade it, then you need to disregard your hobbies. And this is the reason why they do it. So you have to kinda go with it. It's called social engineering, yes.
I think character-specific stuff in fighting games is pretty cool, and it's not egregiously overpowered, especially if you're able to adjust the other parts of the character's kit. But instead, they've made Leo easier to execute, stronger,
Yeah,
and
he's Dumba
taking
now,
away
yeah.
the cool stuff. It feels so backwards from a fighting game, from my perspective. So hopefully that makes it clear how the vision was kind of confused. That's why I said many steps in many different directions, is because there are some good changes. There are a decent amount of, they're nerfs, so we appreciate them, but are they targeted enough? Are they accurate enough? And then there are straight up repeated mistakes from Season 2 that just don't make much sense to me. And that's what we got. We got an execution of what feels like a confused vision. There are also some positive changes too, like the fact that there are many bug fixes and stability.
Okay, this is enough for me, I would say. Tekken 8 is dead. Oh, really? Even Shimblade doesn't like Season 3? I'm surprised. He really, really loved Season 2. Blackheart. Extreme rant.
Yo guys, what's up? It's Blackheart here and welcome to a new video. How are you guys? I'm super good, not gonna lie. I'm extremely well today. We are in this new season. Let's go! Let's fucking go! And today I wanted to talk about one of the most amazing new features about this new season, the Tekken Dev Feedback Portal. Because I don't know if you actually been here right now, but basically this feedback portal is supposedly made so that basically the developers read your suggestions. Imagine, after 2 years of not doing shit, of not listening to your feedback, even Michael Murray this morning said, yes, we are reading the threads. Thank you to everyone already participating. The portal is now the only place we are consistently reading. Now it's the only place they are consistently reading. Before that, they didn't read shit. In fact, it's noticeable because the season is fucking shit. So if you want to be heard, this is the place. And in fact, I answered. We gave feedback for 2 years and you didn't do shit about it. Why would I do it now? It's pretty understandable, no? Now it's been 2 years with these here, giving them feedback, and they never listen. Why in my right mind would I again lick their ass and put my ego, my self-esteem down the drain just to give them even more feedback? I'm tired of doing that because they don't listen anyway. Not only that, but of course this new portal has some problems in it. It's not like it's perfect, and that's what I wanted to talk about. Like, basically everyone is having the right to say whatever they want, whatever suggestion they want, and a lot of people on this fucking Discord, even in the dire and extremely bad situation we're living right now with the game and so on, even trying to get suggestions to make their characters even better, to buff their characters even more, instead of maybe criticizing, I don't know, the absolute brokenness of the characters right now. This thread is basically useless. The development team portal is basically useless because it doesn't, basically the things that people are promoting and the things that people are asking on in that thing is, consistency buffs and stuff like that. It's not like they're asking for actual nerfs about the character, so why would they listen to any of this? So it's even useless. But the funny thing is that, of course, this portal gives the opportunity to speak to everyone, even the blue ranks, even I don't know, with all due respect again, even green ranks, everyone, even people that maybe are not so comfortable and so experienced with the game, okay? And in a time of dire situations like this, maybe you should start learning more from content creators and especially pro players that play this game every day. You should stop listening to every single person asking for a change, because you'll never please you'll never, thank you so much for the subscription, you'll never please anyone at full extent, first of all, and second of all, most of the suggestions, some of the suggestions are actually crazy stupid, for example, and that's what I want to talk about. Let's see, for example, some of the amazing suggestions in this thread. For example, this guy, after executing Jack 8 down back 2+3 body smash, buffering is not like the throw that basically slams you to the ground. The opponent is left at -14 crouched, but Jack can only land a forward 1-1 if he's frame perfect. Oh, poor Jack. Even executing a crouch grab can fail quite easily, and in fact it's been downvoted like crazy because someone said this is intentional to prevent Jack having easy access to a very powerful grab at the wall. It was the same in previous games. Duh. And basically,
after hitting down forward 2, counter it with Kazuya, hitting a 13 frame perfect input electric is quite annoying. It would be cool if I can input the electric like a buffer already before and then wait and just let it happen and watch him go up.
Some of the suggestions on this thread are kinda crazy. For example, I saw in Season 3 patch that the difficulty tournament technique...
Can someone post this, please?
are being made more accessible and easier to perform. Kings down forward 2-1. So look at this. Kings down forward 2-1.
After hitting 4 electrics, it's quite hard to hit down forward 1, down forward 2. It would be better if Kazuya's arms behave like Monkey D. Luffy.
Allows combo only on male characters using down forward 4-3. Combo on female character is only possible with very difficult micro dash. I don't know if this is intentional or not. Please consider either remove combo on males or make combo work on females with same ease. So they want to completely remove any kind of player expression, every kind of male skill on a fucking 13 frame country to launch confirmable. Fucking stupid, that shouldn't launch in the first place by King. And they want it to become even more accessible against everyone, always. Hey! What do they want this game to become? So this fucking feedback, I hope they really don't listen to this shit, because if they start listening to this shit, it's actually even more over than it already is, for fuck's sake. Or even, I made a post about this, Shirdle, a very respectable player, playing Alisa. The new 4, Alisa, the new 4 into destructive 4 option doesn't provide the opportunity for immediate mix-ups of intent. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that a 13 frame high that now goes into stance at plus a million on hit doesn't always give you a guaranteed mix-up from chainsaws, even from 3 kilometers. At further ranges, it's easy for the opponent to back dash out of range of the destructive blows, even at plus 14. So what do they... Maronna, you pieces of shit, you dumb idiots. The game is going to shit, and the only thing you care about is even buffing more and more your fucking mix-ups at every single fucking rage. Fuck you! Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm so no, guys, I'm really I am starting to become completely unleashed.
Have you seen that fucking #1 ranked chat when they snatch his wig? And then it shows the cortisone in the red zone.
I don't give a shit anymore. I don't give a shit anymore. This morning I also flipped off Fighting GM again. Fuck that guy too, because he said Lee's 1+2, the homing country launching made the very fast and so on. It's only +2 on block. So it is fair for him to have an option that is forward to 1 that completely covers the weak side of Hitman stance after 1+2 on block. But just jab, you fucking idiot! Why would I jab if you have options that cover the jabbing? Why would you have a homing country launch with a lot of mix-ups on block? With mind games on block in the first place? Why now I cannot even sidestep? Right. Why cannot even sidestep right after 1+2? You fucking idiot! And this is all like this. Setsujin, Season 3 is fine. Season 3 patch is fine. Mannaggia la miseria, mannaggia. But these guys actually want... Yeah, look at Fighting GM. Look at Fighting GM. The amazing Luminar. Before people start going crazy, tracks one way, which is to the right, after 1+2 Hitman. Yeah, that is a problem. Because before, sidestepping right was a counterplay to this fucking shit broken move. Now you cannot even do that, because you have an option that covers the weakness of that move. And we are tired in this game of having things that cover characters' weaknesses. That's what we're talking about since a long time. Fucking cringe lord. You can sidewalk to the left, and the 1+ is only counter launching mid, homing mid. It's only +2. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. So you can jet bleed. Yeah, you can jet bleed. Too bad he has a 111 that is a heat engager, launcher in it that also warp splat. Too bad. Too bad. I don't think I can do that freely, you know? Because he has this option that is very fast and covers the +2 and I get fucking warp splatted. So so yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is with this game. That's what it is. It's insane. It's insane. And really, if you go onto this feedback portal site, everyone is like this. Look at this guy. Wait. Look how many like this. Due to the new sideways country change, June 124 is not guaranteed on sideways opponents. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, man. There are also some interesting feedbacks, of course. So I'm not saying this website is completely useless, but the fact is that you give the possibility to everyone to comment and to say their own shit opinion. And maybe the devs actually listen to them. There was one post that was very fun, without even checking thing for me, really.
Okay, boys, my girlfriend just texted me. She wants to watch some movies on Discord. I am gonna call it a day on stream because I need to eat and then we watch. Was a good stream. I hope you enjoyed it. GG's. What a stream, man. That was really entertaining.